This is the Say It Can't Gamer, and you are live with the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
Boom, 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 boom.
No way!
From the Queen Studios of New York,
Khabib versus Mayweather. Is it #1 bullshit? The new poster has been released for UFC 230. We got a whole bunch of shit to talk about here on the MMA. Holes. Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
What's up, MMA Holes? I was tired today, so what I decided to do was pop open some TygerLyfe, and I'm shot out of a fucking cannon, and you're stuck with me and Jessie for 2 hours. Caffeined up.
I'm so excited I couldn't say anything.
Jessie,
Izzy,
how are you today?
I'm always wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
How are you
Wonderful,
today?
wonderful. I am wonderful, wonderful
I'm
as well.
getting so good at remembering to say wonderful, wonderful.
Well, it is our catchphrase.
Well,
And here's some good news, Jessie. We did make the call. We finally made the call. And finally, Mystic Moss will have the wonderful, wonderful tattoo that I promised at 10K. But more importantly, JBH is going to make a move that she's going to regret for a lifetime. And what are you going to do?
I just tuned out. I forgot.
It's too early to tune out. So we made the call.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the wonderful, wonderful tattoo.
Oh! I'm so sorry.
We just started the TygerLyfe and kick in.
Olympia noticed, and
Yeah. What?
I just got caught up in it, and I just.
All right, sit up straight. How dare you? All right, so what's the mistake that you're gonna
I'm
make?
gonna get.
Hold on, let me put it on you so you're completely autistic. Here we go.
I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get a. Actually, it's gonna be on this song. MMA Holes. MMA Holes tattoo.
Why are you whispering it?
I thought if it sounded seductive, it sounded more like.
That wasn't seductive.
Yes.
That was nervous. That was nerves. That was nerves coming through your voice. You should not be nervous. But
But
here,
I was trying to be seductive.
okay, or seductive, whatever works. Yeah, that's right. Mystic Moss has himself a wonderful, wonderful The MMA Holes tattoo that I got when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Right now we're 15,000 subscribers. I made the call up. I was like, listen, I'm gonna get this wonderful, wonderful tattoo. I promised the audience, and we're 5,000 behind. But I said at 10K, we're gonna get the wonderful, wonderful tattoo. I'm like, Mr. Tattoo Guy, we want that wonderful, wonderful tattoo. But this one is like, I need one of the MMA Holes tattoos. She wants the goddamn logo on her.
Because that's how dedicated I am to you guys.
And now, listen,
And to this guy.
before you say anything, I tried to talk her out of it. I was like, listen, Jessie, you sure you want to get this? I mean, it's a fantastic
this
logo.
is solely my decision, but
And she's like, she goes like this, Chris, I'm getting the fucking tattoo. I was like, whoa, easy, Jessie. So now Jessie's going to mark that. Now, let me know in the chat what you guys think about Jessie rocking the logo. I mean, it's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Let's talk about this. Khabib versus Mayweather. Can't even say that without laughing, right? I mean, you can't be surprised that Floyd Mayweather will be throwing it out. Well, first of all, Khabib was the first one to say something, really, right? I mean, to kind of like, hey, man, you know, let's get the two champions together, the undefeated, blah, 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 blah. And Khabib, you know, throws it out, horsing around. I think he was joking, but
Right.
kind of serious in a weird, seductive way. Not really seductive. I was just jerking off.
well,
when
this
you said
could be
it.
a seductive night. We could say it's a seductive
All right, in
night.
a seductive way. But I think he was kind of joking, trolling, but like, hey, if Floyd jumps in, I'll go for the money, and I don't blame Khabib for throwing it out there. I mean, like I said it on a previous show that, listen, the money's right. I will go in a cage and get pummeled. Like, I don't give a fuck
Right.
how bad I would lose. And, Khabib is a fighter. He's a true, pure fighter. And I think in his mind, he thinks he could beat anyone in any form of combat, right? Floyd Mayweather, well, he comes out, and I think it was today or yesterday. I'm not even sure. We have the story. We'll get into detail on it. But I'm just going to brush on it in the beginning. And he's basically like, let's do it. It's happening. Now, when the Conor rumors versus Floyd were circling, I was saying to myself, and then I said to the community, it's going to happen. I was guaranteeing it from the very beginning. As soon as it hit my eardrums, I was like, yep, it's happening. I just had this feeling. My friends were calling me up. No, it's not happening. People on the show, well, the 3 people that were watching at the time were like, it's not happening. Everyone MMA media was saying it's not going to happen. No one was like on board except for myself with my 12 viewers. And I was adamant. I was like, this is going to happen. When it comes to Floyd Mayweather versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, I say there's no fucking way. And I even said that I would shave my head and shave my beard. I said I would shave it all. I would even shave my chest and my bush. I'll shave my whole goddamn body. There's no way it's going to happen. That's how confident I am about this. Now, with Floyd Mayweather running around saying all this bullshit, what do you think, Jessie?
I think that you might have to shave your whole body.
Wait, you think it's going to happen?
Nah, here's the thing. I'm not going to solidly put my opinion down that yes, it's going to happen. But I have to think about this logically. I don't want it to happen. I think it would take a lot for it to happen, but a lot of people said the same thing about Conor and Mayweather, and that happened.
Okay.
So I can't push it aside and be like, oh, it's never gonna happen. It could happen. Stranger things have happened.
Okay. We're going to get that gun that I like to pull out, right? I like to pull this gun out and put it to your head.
Yeah.
Because you can't make a decision. But we're going to say right now, Jessie, the gun's coming right to your head. I'm putting it to your fucking head. And I'm looking in your eyes. And I'm like, Jessie, you got to make a decision right now.
It's not going to happen.
All right. So there you go. Jessie saying it's not going to happen. Chat room. What up, peeps? Peeps. Is it going to happen? Yes or no? Let me know right now.
Olivia Live says, it will never happen. Please no. Gay Agent says, Lord Two Dicks, how are you, Two Joints? Two Joints says, smoking marijuana, then oxygen. Real Gamer says, if Mayweather says a fight is going to happen, it happens. Gay Agent says, the Drunk Savage with a smiley face. Van Shipman says, I'd fight every one of the Mayweathers along with Conor, while Khabib throwed rocks at me for $100 million. Olympia Life says, pull the trigger. Marky Wahoo says, my woman has my name on her baby spitter and I suck in the sack.
Oh, wait, hold on. First of all, and welcome to the show, Marky Wahoo. I need to know, Marky, did you receive your autographed TygerLyfe Energy that JBH sent out to you? Let us know yes or no in the chat. I just want to make sure it got there. I didn't track it. I should have tracked it. But I want to make sure that Marky got his swole, sexy TygerLyfe on a nice pedestal and he worships it every morning and then drinks it and crushes the can, throws it out. What else do we have in the chat?
Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington says, UK strong. Stanley Moon says, Mayweather made Conor go to 153. Khabib can't make that. Just Drive for Life says, how they gonna have Floyd box a wrestler?
Well, listen, I mean, yes, it is on our thumbnail. Yes, we are talking about it, but I just don't see it. I don't see the fight happening in any way. Now, asking how could it happen? Anything can happen. I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff. I mean, we've seen YouTubers that don't even know how to throw a punch fight for a nice chunk of change. So what else we have in the chat?
Marky Wahoo says, I did, thank you, but Assface put it in the freezer.
Oh, no. Hold on a second. First of all, who the hell is Assface?
I want to say maybe, I mean, who else would he call Assface? He's got children, and I'm sure they're young. So
chat.
Oh, Kevin Costa. Making the MMA World Talk.
Put this donation towards Jessie's tattoo.
Yes.
Mayweather should rent a Lamborghini with a faulty GPS and drive off a cliff already.
You know what's funny? Didn't I make this comment to you earlier when we were watching a Mayweather interview that I was like, he's just so full of himself. It's difficult to take him seriously, like things that he says, because he seems like one of those types of people who just makes things up. You know, and like he makes things up and he just tosses it out there like he knows everything, and it's honestly like kind of cringy to watch.
All right. Well, when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, if it's in his brain, it happens, right? If he believes in it, it happens. I am not sold. Like, they asked him right away. They're like, is it going to happen in a cage or in a ring? And he just shut the cage thing down. So that whole Mayweather fighting UFC will never happen. I mean, it's pretty obvious that was never going to happen. But then he was teasing on Instagram, running around in a cage saying, UFC, blah, 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 Conor McGregor. Now he was kind of cornered when he was coming out of a department store. Here's the funny part. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. But Mayweather on TMZ, if you could find that clip, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I have it on the news.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah.
All right, so he walks. Let's play this quick clip over here. Let's go over to the MMA-Holes.com. Let's brush into the news. We have 2 strong, swole, sexy hours tonight on the MMA Holes. The MMA-Holes.com is a place to hang out. And the reason why I'm going to say this is today we got Twitch, a representative from Twitch. Shout out to Ashley from Twitch, who reached out to us today and set up a little bit of a meeting, basically wanting to learn about the MMA Holes, what we were doing over here, and why we were on YouTube, and why not, trying Twitch. So basically trying to recruit us to come over to Twitch.
She wants a partnership.
She wants my cock. No, what? Oh, Jessie, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. So
what the fuck?
She's married,
That
Jessie.
went a whole other route.
Wonderful. So, what's it called? So she reached out and was talking about this whole Twitch thing, and I was scratching my head. I wasn't twitching, but I was scratching my head. And I'm like, why would we leave YouTube?
Right.
The other day, YouTube shut down completely, and I'm pretty sure majority of this chat. Was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
All right, so yesterday, which technically is the other day.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just...
That's right. So that YouTube shut down, and there was nothing. There was no way to stream. On the MMAHoles.com, we simulcast over here. On the MMAHoles.com, if you hit the live section, we simulcast. So for any reason, hold on, see, look at this. Look at that. It's beautiful over there. Let me reset this. But for any reason we are not on YouTube, you run over to the MMAHoles.com and you can watch us for free over there. Just like YouTube, you can watch us for free. Any reason we are not on YouTube, you run over to the... Look at that. It's fucking amazing. It's brilliant. Now, what we were thinking about is, maybe we should try out Twitch. I'm not sure if we should try out Twitch, but we are open to ideas. There was another streaming service called Sports Booth, which is an interesting concept. Sports Booth, and these aren't sponsors yet, but they reached out to us and they do just live sports reaction. So there are other competitors to YouTube. YouTube's our home, so we're looking to stay on YouTube. But for any reason that this place shits the bed and they don't like the MMA Holes, check out the MMAHoles.com, and we might have other options. The reason why I'm bringing this up is I want to know in the chat, we have 80 people watching right now, if we were to move to Twitch. Now, I'm not saying we're doing that, but if we were to move to Twitch, right, not just simulcast, say something happened over here on YouTube and we moved over to the old Twitch, how many people in the chat would come aboard and join us on Twitch over there? Hit me with the ones if you will join us. We're going to go over to the MMAHoles.com and let's look at that Floyd Mayweather story. Okay. I want to play that clip.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's courtesy to bjpen.com for this clip.
All right, here we go. Actually, TMZ, right?
Yeah, BJ Penn and TMZ.
All right, let's see what the chat says. Look at this. They're voting right now. Let's see.
Michael Anzalone says yes. Annie H says I am an MMA hole for live. Van Shipman says yes. Twitch is good. Do chronic. Michael J says yes. Steve Johnson, what the hell is Twitch? John Hart, no. Vlad says yes. Vigo says no. Kevin Costa, no. I would not watch on Twitch, says B knows. B knows, no. Houston Gotti, yes. Darian Sun Cow would have to, yes. David Flores Jr., yes. Mad Pickin, yes. I don't know what Twitch is, says Almond Bro 74. One Bad says Mayweather isn't fighting unless it's scripted again. Marky Wahoo says I've actually seen a woman give a rusty trombone and the dude's eyeballs were popping out of his head. 1111. Houston Gotti says yes. Drunk Savage says as long as it's free, I'll follow you anywhere.
All right, so there you go. All right, thank you. We wanted to get a quick vote, because it's actually cool that Twitch reached out to us, It's actually cool that they did that. They have a good thing going over there, but YouTube is where we grew the show for 2 years, and I guess so far it's treated us all right. I mean, the monetization is kind of bullshit. That's why the donations help so much and the patrons help us so much, and it's the reason why we're doing what we're doing. And TygerLyfe Energy as well has helped us. But, the monetization's a little bit better on Twitch. The goal would be to basically fund this show ourselves through sponsors and stuff like that and not have to rely on donations. I mean, that is the goal because we want to be doing this, for the audience for free. We don't want to be, we don't want to charge you guys or anything like that. So anything that you guys do donate or are patrons, I can't tell you enough how much we have so much respect for you because without you, we really wouldn't be doing this. You guys keep us on literally almost every day of the week, it seems like. So Thank you so much. Now let's shut the fuck up and let's go over to this on the MMAHoles.com. We dropped this over here. TMZ motherfuckers. They corner Floyd Mayweather, and this is what he had to say.
You know, I ain't doing nothing but living life. You know, I live a great life, lavish life. Definitely keep a pocket full of money, as you can see. What's up, TMZ?
Now, okay, so Mayweather, he flips open some money out of his pocket. It was a big fan of money. The one thing I noticed right off the bat from here is he has two mooks in the background. He has the fucking jacked up white guy that's always following him around, and his big black guy, right? And I'm describing this for our Podbean and iTunes listeners. These people are holding his bags. They're holding his department store bags. Now, I know they're getting paid well, you know, and shout out to them for, you know, making that cheddar. But, Jesse, is it a little bit embarrassed? Like, these guys are Adonises walking around behind Floyd Money Mayweather, and they're holding his, like, Macy's bags.
I wouldn't think so. Because I've heard before that, now, maybe it doesn't go for all men, and this is a pretty much all male audience, aside from Ann H. and myself, but I would say, as much as I've heard, is men are more confident in themselves as men when they're able to do things like that. If a man turns down something and goes, "Oh, that's not a manly thing," then they're not really all that manly. But if they're confident in doing it, then they're actually more manly than, you know, someone who would turn it down.
Darian wants to know, is it a sex thing? Maybe it is. Maybe it is a sex thing. I don't know. Like I said before, listen, when it comes to money, right? Yeah. There's no price. Now, I'm sure these guys getting paid very well to hold his bags. But here they are looking all macho. They're like his bodyguards, and they're walking around with his fucking bags. I don't know. When is it? Like, I could understand once in a blue moon, but I'm sure this is not the first time. They probably always hold his bags. Yeah, when is it? When is it not like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I can't figure it out.
I feel like I was the worst person for you to ask because I can't. As much as I try to relate with all the men here, like there's some things I just can't relate with. You know, like
can we get a vote? Let's get a vote in the chat. Now we're getting it's 2 hours we got tonight. You're stuck with us for 2 hours. So listen, we're gonna talk about whatever the fuck we want over here. I want to know in the chat: is it? I don't want to say gay. Is it unmanly to be holding bags for Floyd Mayweather when you're this jacked up, tight shirt, macho guy in the background? Let me know yes or no. I mean, they're getting paid, so shout out to that. But let me know in the chat. Let's get the vote going.
Hey, whether zone, the money zone, whatever y'all want to talk about.
Speaking about that money. So Khabib,
yes,
he said he wants to fight you. You said get the checkbook ready. How serious is it?
CBD.
Oh, CBD coming in.
CBD.
Those dudes drink loads. Is a goggle product.
CBD.
Fly jumping into CBD.
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 CBD. CBD. CBD. CBD. CBD. It helps with healing process and inflammation and stuff like that. So you wanted to get these for before or after the fight training and make your life a better place.
Vlad?
The Holes would get kicked out of Twitch within 3 months. Lol. With this crowd of animals, I think you'd get blackballed. Also, I could see the fight happening. Imagine being Floyd with $200 to $300 million at the end of an easy fight. Again.
All right, so there you go. Vlad chiming in a couple of things. Yeah, Twitch, we actually brought it up to her. Yeah. We were saying, listen, we're edgy. You sure this would be a good fit for us? There's really not much MMA-wise on Twitch. That's why they're looking for channels like this. And we are trendsetters.
She did say that the reason that she had contacted us was because she actually came across one of our shows during one of the Fight Buddies, and she sat through and watched it. Like, she likes the content of the show, so she's fully aware. She watched us.
How could she not like this, right?
Well, she's fully aware of how edgy the show is, so I don't think that... She wouldn't have asked us for a partnership if she wasn't already aware of how edgy the show was.
Yeah,
you know?
there's Andy Milanakis is a comedian who is, like, he's my age, older than dirt, but he looks like he's 12. And he's funny as hell, but he's dirty, super dirty, and he's killing it. He's making bank on Twitch. So edginess isn't... a problem over there. There is a younger audience, which concerned me, but if people are doing crazy shit over there and they're getting away with it, we like to do crazy shit too. So anyway, let's move on. He did say that Floyd Mayweather, you know, he can see it happening, and I agree that I could see it happening. Like, why would Floyd? Of course, Floyd. Luke Thomas made a point saying that Floyd could make, you know, the rest of his career, he could make bank of just beating up MMA fighters in a ring, you know, and he's right. I hate to say it. I hate to say when other people are right, but Luke is right in this situation. Yeah, Floyd could just beat up MMA fighters, being in his 40s and taking out. I mean, come on, Khabib is a specimen, but under boxing rules, I don't think he's going to get as far as Conor did, in the fight. Conor at least is a pure striker. I don't know. I just don't see how that works. But
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Now, I know you say that Khabib Mayweather won't happen just based on your prediction, but let's say it does somehow, like they formulate this fight, right? Let's just say in theory. Would you watch it?
Yeah.
Like, would you want, no, not, okay, that was the wrong way to ask. Would you look at it and be like, I have to see this? Like, would you want it to happen?
Well,
or based on your prediction that it wouldn't happen, would you kind of be like, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be good?
I can say that this is the most horrible idea in the world, right? But look what we're doing here, right? First of all, we have no choice.
Right.
We have no choice but to watch this stuff.
Well, aside from all this, just as a fan, would you be like, I need to see that?
I wouldn't lobby for it, but I wouldn't be upset. Like, here's the difference between me and like people that complain about fights, right? And I complain about a lot of fights, but I'll be the first one in line to watch the fight. Even if I don't agree with it, I will be there watching it, And that's why they make these ridiculous fights, because I like a car crash. I like looking at a train wreck. I stop, I rubberneck, I let everyone sit behind me in traffic, and I just stare at it. I stare right in their eyes. I'm like, I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm just going to watch this car accident. Even if I complain about it, yes, I am going to watch it. And if something like this materialized, even if I'm against it, of course I would watch something like this. I wouldn't be like, no. Like, there are people that are like, I'm not watching that. If this fight happens, well, I'm not going to watch. Well, you're a faggot. You are going to watch. You're lying. A lot of people said they didn't want to see Conor McGregor fight Floyd Mayweather, and I get it. Like, why would you want to see something like that when you have a mixed martial artist that's an amateur boxer fight arguably the greatest of all time? It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
I was fucking, this is great,
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it's a shit show, There are purists with MMA, right? That are like, the sport's turning into WWE and blah, blah, blah. It's entertainment. They got to get paid. I get it. I totally get it. For the people that have that fucking rod shoved straight up their anus, and they're like, no, I'm not watching that. If this happens, I'm not watching that fight. Well, you're a faggot. Like, seriously. Like, and there's so many people that are like that. If you're an MMA hole, you're not like that. You're not like that. You could say it, but you're lying. Because you know deep in your soul that you'll probably watch any train wreck. CM Punk versus fucking Grimace from McDonald's. You would watch that. Is Grimace even around anymore? I don't even know.
I don't know.
The big purple guy? I don't know. Anyway, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Floyd Mayweather. And here it is. There's the muscular man with his fucking Macy's bag in the background.
I said, what I exactly said is CBS.
Right.
Showtime. MGM Grand.
What is up with the fucking audio here? What
It's
is
wind.
Up? Was it fire?
Right.
Showtime. MGM Grand. Get that checkbook ready, because you already know I'm Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm in the check cashing business. I'm about that money.
Right. So, you're serious about this. You would take the
absolutely.
fight with Khabib.
Are we fighting?
Oh, you are?
Are we? I mean,
Look, he's like, oh, we fighting. We fighting. And then the guy with the purse in the background. He's like, that's right, man.
I'm my own boss,
Right.
so I can't say what's going on Khabib end, but on my end, we can make it happen. Then I've seen that on IG and on social media, he put, I think basically, he'll fight, but he don't want to fight in Vegas. Of course, we know Vegas is the fighting capital.
Yeah.
And after the fight, you have to conduct yourself like a true professional, not just in the ring, but outside the ring also. You must conduct yourself like a professional. And it was a big melee. I haven't had a chance to see it, but from what I heard, it was a crazy melee.
Is that a concern of yours, that Khabib could go crazy after the match if you guys fight?
Khabib's not going to go crazy. I mean, there's no way Khabib, no matter what Mayweather says, Khabib's going to be laughing his way to the bank on this one, no matter what Floyd says. And Floyd's not going to go Conor. He's not going to go, you never go full Conor, right, Jesse?
Right.
You never go full, and Floyd's not going to do that. He has a different
Well,
approach.
one fan went full Conor.
Who?
We'll get to it.
Okay. All right, so if you're just jumping in, Floyd Mayweather gets cornered by TMZ, right? And he's talking about the whole Khabib fight. Now, listen, if you're just jumping in, I am not on board with this. I don't think it's going to happen. So we could probably be showing this for nothing. But Floyd Mayweather, it is what it is. He is one of the greatest, if not the greatest of all time in the boxing ring. And I love how he takes a jab, and basically every time an MMA fighter is brought about, he goes, I'm my own boss. It's almost like a page out of the MMA-Holes, right? I say that all the time. Maybe I am channeling my inner Money Mayweather, right? If you notice that, like, I'm listening to this guy talk, and he's like, I don't have a boss. I'm like, holy fuck, I've said that before. Like,
Connor said that before, right?
No, Connor has a boss. He can't say that.
No,
he does. I mean, he jokes around saying that, you know, he calls the shots and this and that, but he does have a boss. Like, we don't have a boss, you know, besides the viewers, right? Stelio too brought it up, and, you know.
But
I
are
guess,
they really our boss?
Not really. But if you think about it, if we had to say, hey, who's in charge of the show, it's the viewers. Because if you didn't show up, we had to have no show.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess you can say that. But Floyd Mayweather could say that too. His boss is the fucking people that buy the pay-per-views and buy the fucking tickets to the events.
So if nobody bought the tickets.
So we and Floyd Mayweather have no fucking boss. That's why we could be the best out there. We're the Floyd Mayweather of MMA media. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Anyway, let's get back to this over here. So I like how he takes shots and saying, I don't have a boss. You know, you got to work under my terms.
It is what it is.
Is it going to be in the boxing ring or the octagon?
Who's the A side? TMZ, all you got to say is who's the A side. He called me out, so he got to come to my world.
So we're talking about boxing here.
Always.
So he squashed it. That whole, listen, Mayweather, we've all come to this agreement. Mayweather gets in a cage with McGregor, gets mutilated. If he gets in a cage with Khabib, he dies. Like, he dies in that cage, right? Khabib will rip his head off and eat it. You know, it's not even a question. Like, it's not even a question in a cage. So, yeah, Mayweather's like, of course, in the ring.
Always, from the hand game. And from I seen on the interview, he said, well, when he hit Conor McGregor, he knocked Conor McGregor down. He said, I didn't knock Conor McGregor down. But, okay, so, Khabib, you got my leftovers. Whoopie-doo.
Well, because you were training MMA for a while, and you seemed like you were interested in taking an MMA fight. Is that still something you're looking to do?
I'm Floyd Mayweather. I'm the A side. You call me out. You come into my world. Once again, I don't know no other.
Look in the background. Look at these two in the background, Jesse. Look at this. These guys, their arms are as big as our heads put together, and they're holding his bags. The guy in the background. Look at the black guy. He's tremendous. He's huge. He's absolutely huge. And they had to hold his Macy's bags.
No other fighter that has done the numbers that I've done.
Sure.
I don't know no other fighters that has made the money that I've made. So he called me out. Come into my world, let's make it happen. When I face Khabib, of course, I'm getting a 9-figure payday.
Right.
So.
More than the money fight, McGregor Mayweather?
Yes.
It'd be more.
Yes, it's more than a McGregor fight.
How much more you thinking?
He's saying more than the McGregor fight. Robert is here. Welcome, Robert, to the MMA-Holes. You're wonderful, wonderful.
Probably $100 million more.
$100 million more?
$100 million more for the Khabib fight. Let me ask you this question. Do you think, Jesse,
Jessie,
that now this is hypothetically speaking because the fight's not fucking happening, right? But say if it was,
yeah,
right? Say Khabib versus Mayweather inside the boxing ring. I can't even visualize the fight. Like, I'm trying to visualize Khabib with boxing gloves on, standing in a boxing ring. I can't even. It just doesn't. It doesn't sit in my head, right? I can't even manifest it. It doesn't make sense to me. But all right. Say if it happens, do you think that he's going to be making that number's lunacy? That's insane. But do you think that they would make more money with Khabib Mayweather than Conor Mayweather?
No.
And what would be the reasoning? I mean, Khabib does have all of Russia, which they're
that's a good point. Here's the thing. I think Conor Mayweather will have created more of a hype than Khabib Mayweather. The only way I see, and the hype is what matters. As long as there's a hype, then there's people in the seats. But the only way I see Khabib Mayweather creating more of a hype than what Conor did, and Conor did a good job at making a hype. But if Khabib Floyd make a bigger hype, the only way I see that happening is because of the events that took place at 229 with Conor and everything, and exactly how Floyd said that Khabib got his leftovers, Floyd's leftovers. That could be the only thing I see, like, maybe creating a hype, but Conor's shit talking was on point, and that got people watching.
Khabib is fantastic. Khabib is undefeated and might never lose inside the cage. But when you think about it, Khabib should be blowing Conor McGregor because Conor McGregor gave him a stage, right? And he took it. He took advantage of this opportunity and ran away with it. Him jumping over the fence and getting into the brawl, that even ups his street value in some bizarre way.
Khabib's?
Yeah, it does. Like it to me, it blemishes the sport, and it's tough to watch. Even the bus thing, everything about that was it's just ugly. And the fact that he jumped the cage, it kind of distracted from the fact that what happened to Conor there. Conor kind of got off easy on that one. But if you look at the other side of it, not only did Khabib get the job done, but now he's like, fuck everyone, let's go for it, And jump it over, I'm going to start a brawl with the whole fucking audience. And now people are like, all right, I'm into this guy. This guy's a fucking lunatic, and I'm going to, now I know who he is. A casual fan may not know who Khabib is. I had barbers that they're Russian barbers, and they know of Khabib now because of Conor McGregor. They didn't know of him before. They had no idea. So now there are more casual people into Khabib. Maybe, just maybe, they can generate a lot of money because you have all of Russia. Now you have more of the casual fans be like, I think this guy is something else. I do want to see that.
I think, well, yeah. Listen, I'm not saying it's impossible to sell the fight. I'm just saying it would be a lot more complicated. And you have to remember, when we were watching the shit talking between Conor and Khabib, who was doing most of the talking? Conor. Yeah. So, and when we were watching the shit talking, the press conferences for Conor and Mayweather, Conor was doing most of the talking. Khabib is not a talker. And I'm sure Mayweather can hold his own when it comes to talking shit, but it's not going to be nearly as entertaining as watching Conor McGregor go after Floyd Mayweather of all people. Khabib's not going to do that. He's a great fighter, but he's not going to do that.
The thing about Floyd Mayweather, and we're going to end this and move on to other topics. We're going to open up the phone lines in the second half of the show. So hang in there with the boys, right? Hang with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
But Floyd Mayweather, he said what he enjoyed about this the most is he didn't have to do all the work. Conor did some of the heavy lifting too when it came to the bullshitting, the trash talking. This will have to be more vintage Mayweather, going back in there and talking a lot of shit and selling the fight, which Mayweather can do. I agree. I don't think that this would make as much as Conor, but it's not going to happen. So now we can move on in the news. TGIW. To the wonderful world of YouTube. Now it's time for the greatest segment of all times, the news.
I love you.
I love you.
So everybody strap on, strap in. Because we got 20 likes.
20 likes.
I've got fucking 20 likes. We got 40 likes.
20 likes.
I've got fucking 20 likes. Yeah.
20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes.
20 likes.
20 likes.
I've got fucking 20 likes.
I hope the dislikes
Die of leprosy.
If you are new to this is dysfunctional. This is autism. This is AIDS. This is a chat room full of assassins. And if you can't hang, well, get the fuck out of here. And you can lick my balls.
Lick my balls.
But if you can hang, welcome to the show. We have beautiful JBH tickling you with the news. Jessie, what do we got in the MMA-Holes.com?
All right. Well, we already talked about Floyd Mayweather, so let me just nix that from the list. Despite internal drama, ex-coach hopes that Cowboy Cerrone returns to Jackson Wink MMA, according to SB Nation MMA Mania. Donald Cerrone recently revealed that due to some internal conflict with his longtime home, Jackson Wink MMA.
Before you get going with this, doesn't Cowboy look like a Gollum in this picture? My precious. I can't do Gollum, but
Precious.
does he? one ring to rule them all. He does look. Why do they have the picture of him looking like Gollum over here? What website is Bloody Elbow?
No, MMA Mania.
MMA
Both
Mania.
SB Nation, but
yeah, there
yeah.
you go. Look at that. Fucking Cowboy Cerrone. All he needs is a cave, a dark, wet cave, and a ring that he's hiding from hobbits. All right, go ahead. Back.
All right. Donald Cerrone recently revealed that due to some internal conflict with his longtime home at Jackson Wink MMA in Albuquerque, New Mexico, he would no longer be training at the famed camp. Cowboy had some not-so-kind words to relay to his old gym, in particular to one of his former coaches, Mike Winkeljohn, whom he accused of being part of turning a once great training facility into a, quote, puppy mill. Not one to keep his lips sealed, Winkeljohn fired back by saying Cowboy was a narcissistic man who was only loyal to himself. Despite the recent beef, Wink chalks it up to a bump in the road and says he hopes Cerrone eventually returns to the gym that helped him throughout his combat sports career, saying, quote, "It didn't change one stroke. The gym is as good as it ever has been. The atmosphere is fantastic and everybody is winning. It's up. Incredible guys in the cage working with each other. The only person not here is Donald at the moment, but I am hoping in my heart that down the road we can get Donald to come back. Donald is a hard-headed kind of like myself. He has been a big part of our team over the years, and it's a terrible thing that happened, and I kind of wish it didn't happen. But we got a fight coming up with him and Perry. Everybody just has a job to do, and we will get through it."
All right, so what do you guys think of Cowboy Cerrone over here going back to Jackson Wink? They left off, it's weird. Now they want him back. Now, Greg Jackson never left off bad with Cowboy. It was the whole Wink situation. And Cowboy's getting a little long in the tooth. He's been there forever, so you would think that he would rise and fade out of Jackson Wink. But some harsh words between the two. Should Cowboy go back to that gym after everything that's been said? What do you think, Jess?
I think the bigger question is, would Cowboy Cerrone even want to go back to the gym?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he should for sure, but will he? You know, that's the question.
Yeah, coming from Cowboy side of things, like I actually sided with Wink side. I was just like, I get it. I kind of get what's going on here. Move on. Cowboy, you know, I just sided with them in that situation because Cowboy having his own gym, taking one of the trainers, you know, it kind of wasn't a team player, which we've heard from multiple sources. So I agree with the gym. Now I'm not there. I'm just going by what I hear. But I don't know why they would want Cowboy to come back. And if I was Cowboy, I wouldn't want to come back.
Yep.
You know, if I was him, you know, and if what he says is true, I'd be like, well, fuck this. You know?
Agreed.
I'm not coming back.
Super chat.
Yo, Kevin Costa making it right.
Does Chris have a wonderful, wonderful button he can press after great sex with Jessie?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, I do. Actually, the Luke Thomas button.
Ah,
It's
really?
Actually, when I'm about to finish, I'm like,
Wonderful, wonderful.
would that ruin the mood?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I feel it would.
Kevin Costa is giving Vlad a run for his money over here. Check this out. This motherfucker's going cray-cray. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. All right, so if you guys want to donate, link in the description. You can play one of our cheesy-ass songs, and you can do the super chat like what Kevin Costa does.
Super chat.
All right, so yeah, I mean, Cowboy Cerrone, the Gollum of the UFC, should what does Ann say? Is Ann in the chat? Ann, if you're in the chat, I would like to know what you think about Cowboy Cerrone. Let's see what the chat has to say, Jess.
Jay Arroyo says, LOL. Steve Johnson says he's not speaking the truth. Clock says Michael Anzalone. I, Mike. Drunk Savage says Cowboy knows where all the bodies are buried. Gay Agent says, are there any men with stinky underwear here? Olympia Lowlife says, don't really care about their sex life. Gay Agent says, you know how they sell the used unwashed gear from a fight? How can I buy it?
How can Gay Agent buy it? Let's see. We're going to have to figure that out, Gay Agent. We'll make it work.
Jay Smooth, jealousy is shining. Steve Johnson says, Simps, surrender your wallets.
By the way, the people that donate, keep donating because not everyone can afford it. So, you know, I mean, what do you want me to say? They're the people that keep the show going and flowing and keep the community together. So thank you for the donations. And people that are hating, we love you too.
Kind of. Drunk Savage says, Ann is busy fapping the Cowboys picture. And H says, Cowboy should not go back to Jackson Wink.
Oh.
Fook them.
So Ann H says Cowboy shouldn't go back to Jackson
I agree.
Wink.
No, I 100% agree with her. I don't think that Cowboy should be going back.
You know what? I'm with you. I said it with myself. I think Cowboy Cerrone should be like, yeah, fuck it. You know, I would be like that. If I felt scorned from a gym and I've been there, you know, from the beginning and I helped other fighters and I felt like I was a big part of it and then they just kind of turned my back on
They
me.
just kind of shit on you?
Yeah, I would flip them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do the old Cowboy flip off.
Yeah.
So that's that. Cowboy Cerrone, who's fighting Mike Perry very soon, actually. That's coming up very, very soon. All right, what else do we have in the news? JBH.
There was a fan who ran into the octagon to help McGregor at UFC 229, saying, quote, I thought Conor could be killed, according to For the Win, USA Today. Fearing for Conor McGregor's life, a fellow Irishman took his own life in his hands and leaped into the octagon to save the beaten fight on October 6th at UFC 229. He said, quote, I wouldn't say adrenaline took over, and this was 41-year-old David Martin. in an exclusive interview saying, "I'd say patriotism took over first. I thought Russia was attacking Ireland. I thought a bunch of Russians were jumping in, and this guy McGregor was tired and beaten down from the fight and was being attacked by what I thought were a bunch of Russian fans. I needed to step in. I was thinking my country was calling for me right now, and I'm going in." There is a video of the fan jumping into the cage or trying to bombard the cage on the link. Earlier, the story was shared that UFC champ Daniel Cormier told about the fan who raced into the octagon after UFC 229 to check in on Conor McGregor. Martin is a big UFC fan, they said. So.
Okay, I did see a little bit of this. Now, let's see if we can play this. David Martin. It's at Sir_David Martin. You can check him out on Twitter. Okay, let's see. All right, so is this him? I tried to find this myself. Hold on, let's see. All right, so there he is, right? Oh, hold on a second. Is that him with the suit? All right, so keep an eye on the cage. I tried to find this before, and I didn't know what the fuck I was looking for. He just fucking walked in. Hold on a second. Now, I'm sorry that it's small, but you can check it out on the MMAHoles.com. We got a link. The guy's Twitter is at Sir_David Martin. So the fight breaks out after UFC 229, right? The main event. Khabib hops over the cage. Conor tries to go get him, takes a swing. Conor threw the first punch, where? And then Khabib's boys jump over and cold cock Conor and blah, 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 blah. You know the story. So this guy, Jesse, look at this. The cage opens. You know, all this shit goes on over here. They're just trying to control what could have been a really ugly situation, but they did a good job containing it. And what is this? No thanks. No thanks. Go away. All right, here we go.
Just walks right in.
He just waltzes in. And look at him. He goes over and he runs right into the pot. Like, that is some scary shit. Now, I've been to a bunch of UFC events, and the last one, I'm trying to remember if they had metal detectors. It's so easy. Even if they have a metal detector, it's so easy to sneak something in there. You know, it's super easy to sneak something in there. He could have had some sort of weapon or something, and he could have just stabbed one of the fighters in the neck. Here he goes. So he runs over. He gets into the pile of people. Everyone is just all over the place. Now, he claims that he ran in there to help Conor from getting jumped. Do you think that's the case, Jesse?
I think there was a part of him that, yes, did want to help Conor, but there's another part of him that was like, moment to shine. Spotlight. Spotlight. That was the only thing going through his head was spotlight. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, what was going through his head is, hey, I can get into the cage. How the fuck did they let this guy get in the cage?
Because watch, if you see the two or three security guards that are there by the door were pushing someone else out at the same time he slipped in, and they completely like missed the fact that he had slipped in because they were so focused on the guy they were pushing. Watch, they'll push someone out at the same time he goes in.
All right, let's watch this again.
See that? And they push him out.
Unbelievable. They push a fan, what looks to be a fan out. Yeah, they're pushing someone out. I don't know who this guy is with the black shirt. They push him out. He goes running over to the side, and another guy just slips in.
Him.
I guess if you have a suit, you could just walk into the cage. He just walks right in. Right into the madness. All right, we're going to keep this thing playing now. David Martin. Let's see if I could... Actually, let's see if we go on Twitter so I can get a bigger picture of this. Help you guys out here. Sir David. There he is, Sir David. Look at this guy. Here he is with Chris Pratt. Who is this guy? Jesse, did they say who this guy is?
No.
He's just fucking hanging out with people. Where is this video? It should be on the media, right? Keep in mind, this guy is following 11 people, and he's got 3,992 followers. Who is this guy?
Fantasy.co.
All right, media.
Here, go up, and go to the left a little bit on his profile.
No, I'm looking for the video. Yeah, I'm looking. I want to play the video a little bigger so you guys can see what's going on here. Oh, here we go. This is the video here. All right, here we go. It's not much bigger, but it's a little bigger. So now he's in. He's in the pile with people. If you're listening on Podbean or iTunes, you can check this out on YouTube. We have the link in our description. So they're showing back. Is Khabib getting, calmed down by Daniel Cormier? Everyone's just calming down, and we're here. That's him. That's him. Who is he? Come on, get the fuck out of here. So that's Daniel Cormier calming down Khabib, and this motherfucker from the crowd is tapping Daniel Cormier on the shoulder. What does he tell? He's telling him to get. What is he telling him? All right, so now they're showing the crowd. He's Kamaru Usman, who I didn't see. He's all excited. I don't know what he's excited about.
He's standing in there.
Look at him. Look at him. He's pointing out. This guy's the best. Does he even have a media pass or anything? Hold on, let's go back.
They're calling him.
All right, hold on. Yeah, he doesn't even have a media pass. Look at this motherfucker. He got in the cage. Oh my God. He could have fucking started stabbing everyone in there. You know, like he could have jumped into that cage and just started shanking everybody.
I'm baffled. Like I'm so stuck on this story now. I didn't even see these clips. Like, what do you think in a situation like that? Like, this guy's just standing there. Like, he belongs there. He's got his hands on his hip. Like, yeah, I belong here. Like, it's so crazy. You're right. He could have come in with a weapon and fucking just started stabbing everybody, and nobody would have known that he didn't belong there.
We've been to a lot of local events, right? I've done the cage interviews for these events, and it's tough to sneak in. Now, my cousin had a camera. The first time I did it, he wasn't supposed to be in the cage, but he wanted to get footage of me, and he slipped right in, right? And that's at like the lowest level you could think of MMA fighting over there. He slipped right in. But even he had to be super sneaky to get in there. We're talking the UFC, the fucking big cheese. Now, now we know if a brawl breaks out, right? You could just walk right into the cage.
No, but here's my question. Like, yeah, he's standing there. He looks like he belongs there. He seems confident, you know, like he's just chill. He's very relaxed. He's not getting too involved, but he's involved enough. So I could see how someone would think that he belongs there. But my question is this. There's so many officials of the UFC there. How does someone not fucking see him and go, this guy doesn't belong in here? How does someone, I get that there's a lot of activity going on and people are distracted, but someone's got to fucking see him and be like, he doesn't belong in there.
I see Daniel R. says if he was black or brown, he'd be arrested. I mean, yeah, maybe that's what it is. Do you think it's because he's a white guy with a suit on and like, oh, come on in, buddy. Come on, white guy. You have glasses on too? Come on in. Now, here's the thing. This is the thing that kind of creeps me out. This is one guy, right? This is one guy that slips in. What if the whole crowd is like, you know what? I want to touch Khabib. I want to get my hands on Conor McGregor. And they just rushed the cage. Like, what if the whole crowd was like, I'm going to go in there too?
Yeah.
Like back in the day when...
And here's the thing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but he clearly has friends that are filming him, calling his name. Like, what if they all got the idea to follow David into the octagon? Now you've got a whole octagon full of fans. I
kind of want to try this. And the reason why I want to try this...
Now everybody's going to try it.
Here's the problem. We can get seats. A good friend of ours has like a really good connection in the UFC.
Yeah.
And I can't name anything in case I decide to have a crazy idea to do something like this, right? But when I was a kid, and this is probably the people that are around my age could probably understand how this worked. We would go to a concert, and I would get the shittiest tickets I could possibly get. I would sit nosebleed up top, like the shittiest tickets. We would go see Metallica or whatever, you know, Korn, whatever the hell we were seeing. The first time I ever did this was during the Beastie Boys. The first concert I ever went to was the Beastie Boys. And what we did was we got the shittiest tickets. And then as the concert was going, we would slowly work our way down to the bottom section. We would get everyone riled up in the hallway and be like, yo, who wants to get by the stage? And what we would do is around, like in these arenas by us, they have like hockey boards over there, but they're low. They're small, and you would have security standing around to stop people from doing it. But what we realized is if you bum rush the security with a bunch of kids, like a bunch of guys, or we were kids at the time, you know, they're not going to stop everyone.
Yeah.
And what we would do is like 3, 2, 1, and we would just charge down. Like in the middle of a song, we would charge down the row, right, the aisle, all running over, and just start fucking hopping over the fence. Boom, boom, and scurry into the crowd, right? Even though we didn't have wristbands, we would all, like roaches, into the crowd. They would never find us. Never find us. I would do this at every fucking concert. And I would get the shit seats and be by the stage. No problem. Now, security's a little tighter now. Apparently not. Because if a brawl breaks out, if you're sitting low, you can just waltz right into the fucking cage. Now, what's to stop a group of people doing the old concert trick and just fucking a group of people going into the cage?
Yeah.
You know, that's some scary ass shit. We're talking Las Vegas here, right? We're talking Las Vegas. You can't fucking have people just walking into the cage like that.
Well, it's like what you hear. There's only so much security you can have before it turns into like martial law at the UFC. You know, like as much as I'd like to bash the security here, how much security do you really? You don't go
it's
to an
one
event.
door. It's 2 doors, right? The cage has what? How many doors? Well, I know the local events there's got to be 2 doors. I'm assuming. Yeah, I think in the octagon there's 2 doors as well. I know in the local places there's 2 doors into the cage. I'm assuming it's the same with the octagon over there. There's 2 doors. It's not like there's trap doors and you can fucking like now you can jump over the cage. I could understand that, like a fan jumping over the cage and scurrying in. Yeah. You know, but this guy walked right through the door. Like he's like, oh, you're white with glasses and a suit. Come on.
Well, he didn't really walk right through the door, and it's like I said, if you notice in the video, the people who would have theoretically caught him were pushing someone else out. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't know if it was a fan or not, but they were pushing someone else out of the octagon at the same time he just happened to slip through. So I think it was luck of the draw. I think if any other fan tried this, guaranteed, especially after this incident, he's going to get caught. But I think this was just out of sheer luck and ninja-like skills. He snuck in at the perfect time. A minute earlier or a minute later, guaranteed he would have gotten caught.
Latifi versus Corey Anderson. Fire fight over there because Latifi's on a roll. Corey Anderson has those nipples, so I'm interested in that fight. I see that in the chat. Let me know in the chat room if you've ever done the concert trick where you bum rushed and try to get to the stage. Let me know with the yes or no in the concert. All right, so let's play the rest of this video over here. If you're just jumping in, this man over here, David Martin, and you can follow him on Twitter. It's Sir_David Martin. Over here, he's just waltzed right into the cage of when the melee happened, Conor versus Khabib. And there he is. He just walks in.
There we go, Vegas. Henry champion. Daniel Cormier champion. That's gonna be.
Look at this guy.
He's just among the group now.
So wait, this is before the fight. All right.
No, I think is that before the fight?
Yeah, this is before Conor walks out. Yeah, so I guess this is like they went to a time machine. So he has seats where he is. Look, here's the tiny champ over here. There he is. You have Cejudo. You have a couple other people over here. So he's down low with the upper echelon. Look, he's right by the cage. So he literally had to just walk past a couple of people. It's just a little creepy how he can just waltz right into that cage. It's insane. I can understand a boxing ring. You know, there's a couple of ropes. You just slide right under that. Right. I get that. But a cage?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Jess, what's going on in the chat?
Solo Lolo says the chemistry between Jess and the beard guy is cute. Always. Abdel says before. Vlad says Steve Johnson says have to wait until the weekend for the hookers though. Ali Amzar says yeah all the time. Jay Smooth says at Almond Bro 74 how bad is it? Han Sexley says hello.
A lot of people jumped the cage. Look at that. A lot of people not the cage. Did the concert jump? Kevin Costa jumping it.
The person to blame is the idiot in the red blazer that was already holding Khabib right after he won the fight and still allowed Khabib to jump over the fence. Bro, earn your paycheck.
You know,
I said that, didn't I? I said that after the brawl. I'm sorry. Did you have? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Answer.
Okay. After the brawl, I said the same fucking thing. That security guard with the red blazer, you know, the ones that are there before the fight starts and everything, the ones that are there to kind of keep everything in check. It was his fucking fault. He had his hands on Khabib. He saw Khabib getting riled up and ready to jump that fence, and he did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Khabib went right past him and jumped the fucking fence.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing. There are 2 things. First of all, I don't think that he thought that Khabib, you know, Khabib is
what else was he gonna do?
He's a very calm guy, and he was a little fired up. I don't think he anticipated that. It is his job to keep him in there. But how is he going to stop an eagle? Like an eagle flies. And Khabib flew. Like if you watch that, it was so majestic watching Khabib soar over the cage. It was like right over. I've never seen someone jump over the cage that fast.
Yeah.
We saw Conor do it against Aldo, right? Even though he didn't start a riot, that was clearly staged.
Yeah.
Since Aldo was sitting next to his fucking wife, you know, that was just let's set up a fight. But Khabib went in there fucking feet first into that dope Dylan Dennis's face, and he swooped over like an eagle, like, and just fucking right down. Jesse, how is the man going to stop a bird? How is he going to do it?
He wasn't a bird when he went to go jump the fence initially. By the way, shout out Kevin Costa for the $13.99 donation.
Thank you, Kevin Costa. 20 likes. Whoops, where is it? Got fucking 20 likes.
20 likes. 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes.
20 likes. 20 likes. I've got fucking
20 likes. I hope the dislikes
Die of leprosy.
All right, we got another swole hour. We're going to take some phone calls at the end of the second hour. A bunch of news over here. And Jessie,
Jessie.
so many stories. Such little time. What else do we have in the news?
Wonderful, wonderful.
The UFC releases its official poster for UFC 230 featuring Cormier, Lewis, Rockhold, and Weidman. UFC 230, which goes down inside New York City's hallowed Madison Square Garden on November 3rd, is just around the corner, and the promotional has finally released an official poster for the card. Any delay in releasing this official poster, of course, can be contributed to the fact that the card didn't even have a main event until very recently. See the new UFC 230 poster, which features the new event fighters Daniel Cormier and Derek Lewis, and co-main event fighters Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold on the MMA-Holes.com.
Now, how funny is this? This poster, they threw together last minute, right?
Yes.
And it's probably one of their best posters I've seen in how long? I mean, I can't remember the last time I saw a poster. I can't remember the last time that I was like, that's a pretty good poster they got going on over there.
Yeah.
And what happens? Now, let me explain this to our Podbean listeners and iTunes listeners. It's Daniel Cormier standing there with the double belts, one on each shoulder. You have Derek Lewis in his chesticles area with an X. Like, it looks like an X-Men. It looks like a superhero poster, right?
Yeah.
And Derek Lewis is in the middle. He's one lit up in red, and the other side in the darkness. Looks like a beast because he's the Black Beast. And then you have Rockhold and Weidman as like in Derek Lewis's armpits over here, right? But aesthetically,
right,
this thing fits beautifully. The colors are awesome. I love this poster. I would buy this pay-per-view just looking at this poster. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty.
This is definitely one of the better posters that they've put up as of late. But the UFC's full of surprises.
Right? Maybe they should have more shit shows that they throw together last minute and then boom. It's a nice little touch. So listen, they need to do something with these posters. They've been pretty bad. Like two guys staring at each other, and it's just like then the little people in the corner. Yeah. Now it has something, it's pretty cool. I like the beast. It tells a story too, because you got Daniel Cormier with the two belts, right, the double champ sitting up on his fucking throne, and you have the Black Beast lurking in the shadows because let's be honest, he's going to be a severe underdog in this fight. Yeah. On the short notice, coming off a fight, a 3-round fight, which, people is like he lost, except for that knockout at the end. He looked fantastic in his fight. So it shows an underdog that is troublesome to Daniel Cormier, but I don't know.
I like it.
It's a good look. So there it is. If you want to see this, check it out on the MMA-Holes.com, or you can look at it right now if you're watching us on YouTube. What else do we have in the news, JBH?
Carla Esparza lobbies for UFC Atomweight division. And I would like to say courtesy to WMMAC Now for posting this initially on the MMA Holes message board. I did end up reposting the link on the pinned comment as well. The first ever UFC strawweight champion, Carla Esparza, is hoping to see the UFC add a 105-pound division in the near future. The Cookie Monster is a pioneer in the 115-pound division. She was the inaugural Invicta FC strawweight champion and became the inaugural UFC strawweight champion in 2014 after winning TUF 23. After losing the belt to Joanna Jędrzejczyk in 2015, Esparza has gone 3-3 in the division. She picked up wins over Juliana Lima, Mariana Moroz, and Cynthia Calvillo, while dropping split decisions to Ronda Marcos and Claudia Gadelha and a one-sided TKO loss to Tatiana Suarez. Without an upcoming bout scheduled, Esparza has taken to Instagram to state her case for an atomweight division introduction. She posted this picture on Instagram saying, quote, "It's time, #UFC atomweight," with a UFC belt. She said in the Instagram post, "Women's MMA has come so far these last few years. Since November 2012, the UFC has welcomed 4 female divisions. To make this complete, I think the 105-pound atomweight division needs to be brought in. There are so many exciting matchups to be made in this stacked division, myself included.
Typical woman complaining, Jessie. Typical woman over here. She just can't have enough here. How many more divisions do you need, Carla Esparza?
She says, if you agree and want to see the UFC welcome the atomweights, please share this post and tag the UFC, Dana White, Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, hashtag UFC atomweight.
All right, so I understand why Carla Esparza is doing this because she is definitely a little girl, right?
Yes.
And she won the Ultimate Fighter. She got the belt, right? And she's actually been very competitive within her division. But clearly, a 105 atomweight division would be a perfect fit for Esparza. She would be fantastic over there, and she would do a lot of damage. In fact, I think she can hold the belt at that weight class because she's tiny.
I would fight Carla Esparza at atomweight.
Would you? No, you wouldn't. You would get mangled. You would get. She would roll you in a pretzel and then shit in your face.
I'd fight her at atomweight.
But do we want to see an atomweight women's? Do we want to see this? I don't know. No, we can't even put together a 145-pound weight class, and now we're gonna throw another one in there for the little girls. Like, no, I don't want to see it, Jessie. I don't. Now I know you don't like women's MMA. And WMMA scene, how dare
But there are some women's fights and fighters that I do enjoy watching. I'm not hateful toward all of women's MMA.
You're very sexist, Jessie. You're a sexist host. How dare you not like the women's? But 105, no, I have zero interest in that. I have zero. I understand what Carla's trying to do because she would do very well at 105. I could definitely see her doing very well. But I don't care. I don't care, Carla. We're not going to make... You're not Chris Cyborg, for fuck's sake. So we're not going to make a division for you. So shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Chat, what do you think? What do you say about 105 weight class?
Sean Hart says, sicker JBH. When does Dern fight again? Unknown, Almond Bro 74. Kevin Costa says, how dare you, Chris? Jessie would win that fight. I know, Kevin Costa. I would, wouldn't I? Mike Hunt is wet and hot. Abdel Lukhbaf says, women fighters are garbage. Duke Chronic says, who is that Amazon chick who is BJJ? Olympia Lowlife says, love Valentina. Daniel R says, Tisha Torres would fit there too. Jay Smooth says, 105-pound women fight in 1FC. Drunk Savage says, JBH via dart choke. Sorry.
That dart choke?
Or dirt choke.
Wonderful.
Steven Stern says, Sir David Martin, a.k.a. Ed Helms guy from The Hangover. Ha! He does kind of look like Ed Helms from The Hangover.
Who's that?
The guy with the glasses. David Martin.
Oh, shit. I X'd out of it. But yeah, I see what you're saying. He does. They should make Hangover 4 getting into the octagon, slipping in.
Dope Sick Jones says, Esparza is a butterface. Everything looks good on her butt. Her face to me.
You know what's funny, Dope Sick? She just found out what a butterface is.
Yeah, I never knew. Like, I saw someone write it in the chat about some woman fighter, and I'm asking him after the show. I'm like, what the fuck is butterface? Like
I can't believe you never heard of a butterface.
I've never heard of it. And then when he explained it, I was like, ah, ha, ha, funny.
Yeah. Howard Stern did the bit about the butterface contest where he had all the women walk in with the paper bags over their head, beautiful bodies, and then they would take the bag off and they're like, oh, man. How many people in the chat have seen that? It was great. Fantastic. That was probably the
how
hardest
ugly could they have been?
Horrible.
Have you seen
like
them?
My father would say. Horrible. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, you can see it on YouTube. They have it on YouTube
Really?
and stuff. Yeah, they had it on Howard TV.
That ugly. I mean,
yes, Jessie. There's a reason why people
The only reason I say that
butterface.
is because women with exceptional bodies, even if they're not like, they don't have like the hottest face in the world, they have some sort of face to match. You know, like,
Jessie.
I've never seen a woman with an exceptional body and a crappy face. Never.
What? You are an extremely nice person, Jessie. That's why you don't see this. I see everyone's flaws. I see them all. I look at them. I see it. I look them right in the eyes. I'm like, there's a flaw. There's a flaw there because I'm beautiful. I'm a specimen, for God's sake.
Oh, super
WMMA with the super chat.
Chris, you let me down. Hashtag Atomweight. P.S. Slip this money to Jessie's tattoo artist. Have him at AAW to her tattoo.
Yeah!
WMMA-Holes.
WMMA-Holes.
Jessie, I tell you what.
What if we branched off to a WMMA-Holes and had WMMA Scene Now do it?
I was just going to say that. Listen, WMMA Scene. Listen, I like what WMMA Scene does. And go check out his channel. And this is why I like what he does. It's different. Not many people are talking about WMMA. And I like that he gets, like, shit-faced. Like, it's so great.
Yeah, but be careful. Please be careful.
Happy birthday, WMMA Scene. I saw it was your birthday. Happy birthday, my friend.
Happy birthday to you.
Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. WMMA scene now. Happy birthday to you.
There we go. WMMA scene is wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
But I like the guy. I fucking like him. You know, he's very supportive on this show, so I do appreciate that. But he's very knowledgeable when it comes to WMMA, and there is a niche for that. There is something that, you know, there are people that don't know much about women's MMA, including myself. Like, you know, Invicta, I'll throw on Invicta and watch some of the fights, but I kind of like doze off, or I was like, I'll skip this one. You know, but every once in a while we'll throw it on, we'll watch it. Sometimes we've done a couple of reactions to Invicta fights. It's good, but I feel like it needs to be explained by someone that gives a fuck. He literally takes the women's fights and just talks about that. And I have never seen anyone just do that on YouTube. Now, I'm sure people have tried, but I've never seen anyone do that. So I like it. If it's different, I support it. I support it because that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to do something completely different than what you've seen before. So shout out to WMMA scene. And maybe down the road, when we expand, maybe the WMMA-Holes. I like that, Jessie. We'll see.
I like that. I like that very much.
But us first. All right, so what else do we have in the news?
Dana White says Khabib Nurmagomedov will not be leaving the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
This, according to MMA Fighting, when Khabib Nurmagomedov jumped into the crowd after UFC 229 to attack Dylan Dennis, it started a brawl wherein his friend and training partner Zabera cheap-shotted the freshly defeated Conor McGregor. It was a dirty attack and one that resulted in Tukhugov, or Zabera, his name, being removed from his scheduled bout with McGregor's friend and training partner Artem Lobov.
By the way, is the article on here? Am I missing something?
It is.
Where is
It's this.
What's the picture?
This.
Okay, I don't think it's on the MMAHoles.com. But all right, so wait, is it on here? I don't even know. All right,
You're gonna wrap one on one shoulder.
Well, Vlad
you're
donates.
gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off.
Vlad with the donation.
I want you guys to branch off into a WMMA-Holes like I want to watch the WNBA or Women's Football League.
All right, fair point. Fair point.
Typical MMA hole comment right over there.
Fair point, Vlad.
There you go. Listen, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but nor are we. I mean, let's be honest.
Right.
We've pissed off a lot of people over here. Don't get discouraged. If you're doing something different and you're passionate about it, chase it. But if you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch. Or you can just troll. That's fine. Thank you, Vlad, for the donation. You're wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. That didn't sit well with Nurmagomedov, who just a few days later threatened to leave the UFC if they chose to to fire Zabera for his role in the incident. But what was quickly turning into a tense situation for the UFC is now all smoothed over, according to the man in charge. Speaking recently with TMZ, UFC President Dana White said that the situation with Nurmagomedov has been resolved and that the Eagle will be staying in the UFC. He said, quote, "We're good. We're good with Khabib. You guys are still posting that shit. That was a week ago. A lot happens a week in this business."
Got Kevin Costa back in.
I'm curious. What initially got Jessie interested in MMA? She's really knowledgeable for a sort of newcomer to the sport. Put this towards her tattoo.
Yes! Kevin Costa, my boy. What got me into MMA? This guy got me into MMA, actually. I had my own show.
You're welcome.
Very quickly. I had my own channel. I was doing shit on my own channel. We met through YouTube, and he said, "How about an after show?" I said, "I have no fucking idea what I could bring." And he goes, "Just trust me." So I trusted him. And next thing you know, as a sports junkie, he introduced MMA, and boom,
super chat.
MMA fan.
We got Shan Wood jumping in.
This is for just being the MMA-Holes. Points to Jessie's tattoo.
Thank you, Shan.
Yes!
Shan, thank you very much, and everyone
Shan
that's donated
Wood.
tonight. That's very generous of you. And yeah, if you're just jumping in now, we are going to get some tattoos at 10,000. I said, wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to ink myself up with that.
Wonderful, wonderful.
It's going to be easy, quickie, and we're going to live stream that as well, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we're live. Jessie is looking to actually get the logo, and she's going to put this logo, the MMA-Holes logo, on her arm. I mean, that is hardcore, especially being a female over here. Very hardcore move. She already has some tattoos over there, but to brand herself with the MMA-Holes, not my doing in any way. So I don't want anyone to say, Chris,
No,
the fuck?
I will make this official by saying it myself. I chose this because I love this, and I'm serious about this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, listen. I tried to talk her out of it.
Here's the thing, and people can talk me out of it all they want, but I have a very different mentality when it comes to getting tattoos, and I think that even if something didn't work out, let's say
don't say it.
I won't say it.
Don't you say it.
I won't say it. But let's just say something didn't work out, right? I look at it as not a bad thing. If I were to still have that tattoo, I would be like, that was a moment in my life that I enjoyed. Even if it ended like terrible, I would be like, it was a moment in my life, and that's what tattoos are for. Moments in your life. They're story of your life. That's what I look at. There's no negative to getting a tattoo like that.
It is a story. I got some ridiculous tattoos over here. I have some crazy shit on me, and they were all marks of my life. There's no such thing as a bad tattoo. That's how I look at it. Now, you can tattoo a memory, someone's name, something that's just ridiculous that was just a bad time in your life, and make that mistake. But there's no such thing as a bad tattoo. Even if you tattoo that bad name, it still is a part of your life.
Right.
Right?
I look at it as a story. I have story tattoos as well.
So there's no... So the thing is, the rule of thumb is you have to wait 2 months, right? You have to get the idea in your head, and you have to wait 2 months. If you still want that tattoo after 2 months, then yeah, if you're a tattoo person, go for it. Who gives a fuck? Don't care what anyone else says. But the first thing I did was I said, Jesse, you sure you want to get this?
Yeah.
Right?
He tried to talk me out of it. It's not happening.
Let's be clear. And I can't make this any clearer than I'm going to make it right now. The MMA-Holes is here to stay. The MMA-Holes is not only growing like a swole fucking disease inside the cell phone, all over the webs. But when we had our business call today, we have, believe it or not, we actually have business calls. We have sponsors. We have people that actually push for us and understand where we're going with this thing. I am not kidding. We are not. This is the same fucking incentive. The same drive that I had from the very beginning has been amplified a million more times. We have a new studio. We have 2 hosts right now. We have the greatest community in the world inside this chat room over here, inside that cell phone. And we are going to change the game. We are going to make the biggest party that you've ever seen when it comes to mixed martial arts. So there's a reason why we brand ourselves, because we are going balls deep into the internet. We don't give a fuck. We're not stopping anytime soon. So enjoy the ride, motherfuckers. What else do we have in the news?
All right. So we didn't really talk about Dana White saying that Khabib will not be leaving the UFC, but he said we're good. That he's not leaving. Khabib's not leaving.
All right, so Khabib is not leaving the UFC, and I think I think everyone pretty much understands that, Khabib was threatening over there, but the UFC is going to do everything they can to keep their champ aboard. What else?
All right. According to MMA Mania, George St-Pierre wants to hand Khabib his first UFC loss. Bum, bum, bum.
His first loss.
Yes.
All right, so GSP could be the kryptonite to Khabib. He could be the guy. Now, I think it's Tony. I think it's Tony Ferguson, but my problem with that is Tony Ferguson, we may never see that fight. Even though that's the logical fight that should happen, a 6 times a charm, right? We might not see that fight. So I don't know if Tony's going to be the guy that can derail him. Not that he can't beat him, but I don't know if that fight's going to happen. GSP could be the kryptonite. I know he's a little bit older now. But if they can make this fight happen, I don't know how it's going to happen at 155. I really don't. I know he's cutting to get there. I mean, he is a magical creature, GSP.
Yeah.
But he can be the kryptonite. What does this thing say here?
All right. ARIEL HELWANI posted on Twitter earlier today an interview with GSP saying, quote, sounds like it's Khabib or retirement for GSP. And since he doesn't think he'll get a lightweight title shot, it feels like he's getting more and more comfortable with the idea of never fighting again. In the article, it says Khabib Nurmagomedov once again put his dominance on full display at UFC 229, which we had all seen the brawl afterward. With the exception of round 3, the Eagle pretty much had his way with the Notorious. And this is a quote from Rush when asked what fight interests him most at the moment during an entire appearance on ARIEL HELWANI's show. He said, quote, I always say that the thing that excites me the most is when I could be the first to do something, when something can't be done and people doubt me or say it's impossible to do, you can never do it. UFC President Dana White, though, isn't too interested in allowing GSP to fight for another division title and bolt, much like he did after defeating Michael Bisping for the 185-pound strap. If White had a change of heart, a showdown against Khabib would give the French-Canadian superstar the opportunity to become the first ever fighter to win 3 separate titles in as many divisions.
So there you go. Listen, let me know in the chat, and I see some people don't think that GSP could be Khabib.
Super chat.
I don't know. Let me know what you think. Shen Wood.
The MMA-Holes is not here to take part. We're here to take over.
That's right. Shen Wood is right. Shamwood is wonderful.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Shamwood. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
Always and forever.
I said this. I said that GSP will never fight Conor McGregor.
Yes.
And there was a lot of reasons why I said that. Well, first of all, there was a good chance that Conor wasn't gonna be Khabib in the first place. So that just takes Conor out of the equation. Even with, a lot of people are like, well, even if Conor loses, he's still able to have these super fights. I didn't think it made sense if he won. I didn't think it made sense if he lost. Conor versus GSP will never happen. Never, ever, ever happen, especially after seeing what happened with Khabib, right? Now, Khabib versus GSP, that fight not only makes sense,
right,
but it's fascinating, right? Khabib could fight at 170. The guy is like a bear. Everyone says that he's so fucking strong in the cage, right? Those two, just think about it. GSP, Khabib in the cage. You got the grappling skills of both of them. You have GSP's stand-up skills and size. Man, I want to see that.
One of the, and I would like to see it too, but one of the biggest reasons I could see it not happening would be because, and it was mentioned in the article, after the Bisping fight for UFC 217, GSP got colitis after that fight because of his weight cut. It was so bad. But Dana White, it was really bizarre how he handled that situation, because he handled it almost as if GSP just came back for some money and then bounced again. That's what he had. That's not the case. GSP got sick. And that's why I guarantee GSP would have had another fight following that fight had he not gotten sick. Maybe he would have a chance with Khabib. But I think now, and especially since Dana White has that sort of mentality towards you, it's really bizarre how he handled it. I think that Dana White's mentality toward that situation is what's going to stop GSP from ever getting a shot with Khabib.
These are the things that will tickle Khabib's Dagestani cauliflower ears. Money. Right? Yeah. And everyone that says that Khabib is not about money, please, guys, stop. Would you stop it? Everyone's about money. Even though his morals aren't about money, money fucking talks. This guy wants to be set up for life. He wants to set up his family. He's a family man that lives with his father. I mean, this man wants to set his family up for life. He's humbled by what his father did for him, and he wants to give back.
Right.
So Khabib wants money. So stop that. Money and fighting at a catch weight. Those are two things that I think would tickle. I can't see GSP coming down to 155. Now, if Khabib wants to level the playing field, deplete all of GSP's muscles and make them all scrawny down at 155, maybe that could give Khabib an advantage. I can understand how that can work. But let's make it a catch weight. Let's put it at a 165. And you're still depleting GSP. You're still making him come down, right?
But
let's make it at a 165.
Would that be good for Khabib?
Well, 165?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so, because Khabib, let's see Khabib at a more healthier weight. Could you imagine how powerful he would be?
No, I think it would slow him down.
It would slow him down?
I feel it might slow him down.
Wait, hold on a second. Khabib, he would be faster.
What does Khabib walk around at? Do you know?
Khabib is he's probably around 200 pounds, somewhere around there.
Okay.
At fight weight, he's probably around 200 pounds. And in walk around weight, he might even be more than 200 pounds. Khabib's a solid dude. Now, he's not super tall, but he's a solid dude.
Right.
I feel at 165, he'd be fast. I feel he'd be stronger.
Right.
And he'd be super dangerous over there at 165. GSP would still be depleted at 165. You put it at catch weight. If Khabib loses, yes, he gets a blemish on his record, but he doesn't lose the strap. Right. He's still the champ. A lot of things make sense at putting this at a catch weight. You put it as a super money fight, and you just let him go. I think that's the only way this happens, and it's a fascinating fight. If you were to ask me to pick, I got to go GSP all day.
Really?
Got to go GSP all day. Yeah. Around high 190s, 200 pounds, no way. Wait, you're saying no way that Khabib, I'm telling you right now.
Walks around at 200?
I really believe he is almost 200 pounds.
I just real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Zachary Keffer. He corrected me in the chat, and I apologize, I got it wrong. It wasn't because of the weight cut that GSP got sick. It was because of the weight gain, apparently, he said. So I was wrong on that. It wasn't the weight cut.
Yeah, I'm not, that whole him getting sick thing, just wipe it away. Don't even think about that.
I think about it because it's part of the reason he hasn't come back to fight. I think there could have been fights following 217. I don't think he just came back to cash in and then leave again. I don't think that was the case. Yeah, maybe he wanted the money. Like you said, money talks. But I think that there was more to the situation that we were unaware of.
Listen, GSP, he's got a million excuses, but when he wants to fight, he'll fight. You know, he is a true champion. He's one of the greatest that ever stepped inside the cage. And if he wants to get something done, he's going to get it done. I truly believe that. I see GSP and Khabib. I see it there. The reason why I see it is I can't buy the Tony fight right yet. I want that fight to happen. I want Tony versus Khabib. But look how many times they've tried it. You know? And by the way, Khabib walking around 200 pounds is something that is real. Tony Ferguson walks around at 200 pounds. He walks around at 200 pounds. So, I mean...
Do you still believe that? Like, do you think he really walks around at 200?
He showed the scale. I mean, listen, he could have manipulated the scale.
I was going to say, the guy's like...
He's tall. He's 5'11", I think. And for, 155 at 5'11", you can kind of distribute the weight a little bit better there. So, yeah, no, I believe Tony. Tony's a big dude. He's for the weight class. He's not a fucking heavyweight, but for the weight class, yeah, there's a reason why he fights at 155 because, I mean, he can do it. He can cut down to that. So... They're big guys. Khabib, Tony Ferguson can fight at 170 like RDA, and they're taller, they're bigger than RDA, and they'd be just as successful, I think.
Right.
I really do. I believe that. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Let us know in the chat what you guys and gals think.
Virgo Commercial SRL says he loses 45 pounds. Olympia Low Life says Dodgers beat the Brewers up 3-2. Mark Jackson says no way. Steve Johnson says they walk over 200 pounds when loaded up, like 205 to 212. Staley02 says GSP is very thick. Sean Hart says Tony is a freak. Shan Wood says GSP's stock is huge right now. Duke Chronic says Tony is a lot better than people think. Joey Faggoter says in his time, his division was a real Shark Tank. Stephen Iron says David Gallant, a blues Annie. Dopesick Jones says Bisping shredded GSP's grill up. I bet Khabib would slice him to ribbons with that ground and pound.
Let's talk about that. Bisping off of his back. Okay. Bisping off of his back with GSP. GSP gets on top and Bisping off his back just start carving up GSP. Now Bisping lost, but he did start carving him up. Khabib, we haven't seen him on his back. Ground and pound. I don't know if we can see Khabib on top of GSP. I can't vision that. I can't. Now, Tony Ferguson, I can vision that. But I see with Tony Ferguson off of his back carving up Khabib from the back. So that's interesting. I was watching a video. There is I forgot the guy's name. Do you remember the guy's name on YouTube that covers AKA? He runs around and he does like behind the scenes stuff. I can't remember the name. Anyway, there's a guy that documents it. And it's not Walt. It's not the guy Walt who covers it. But there's another guy.
The one that we were watching today, right?
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I Am the Bay?
Something I am Bay.
I am the Bay.
Bay something. I don't know. Bay. And it was a funny scene in his little documentary where Khabib is sitting on the mat and he's talking to one of his training partners and they were making fun of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And it was so fucking funny. The training partner's throwing his legs over his head and he's just like horsing around next to Khabib and Khabib's dying laughing. He's like, why do that? Why do that? We just get on top and just beat him up. Like, it's so funny, the logic of like that Sambo style of wrestling, which is brutal. That Sambo wrestling is, someone dropped in our comment section, earlier fights of Khabib, watching Khabib lost. There's a video of Khabib shitting himself. Oh.
He didn't shit himself.
Where is that video?
He did not. He had ass sweat. He didn't shit himself.
He didn't shit himself.
It was ass
He totally
sweat.
shit himself. But we got to find that video, by the way. There's a video, and besides the fact that he shit himself,
it was ass sweat.
Striking, it's wrestling and striking. That Sambo style of fighting is fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. Like, I got to say this. I think I might take that over jiu-jitsu, that style.
Really?
I mean, yeah, it's such a brutal style of fighting. Now, jiu-jitsu, you can win in any way, but the way Khabib was laughing about it, I don't know. It's just funny. You got to see that. BJJ specialists are homosexuals. Yeah, he basically was saying that. He was just killing jiu-jitsu. I mean, it was kind of a G move by Khabib. It was kind of a G move. Yeah. Just him sitting there like, come on with this faggy shit. You're like a pretzel over here. So what? You could put your fucking legs over your head. I'm just going to get on top of you and pummel your head into the mat. Yeah. It's kind of a cool move. But listen, I'm not trying to shit on jiu-jitsu because let's be honest, any style will beat me. So I don't give a fuck. What do I know? Anyway, chat, what's up? What's up in the chat?
Duke Chronic says, how can you roll with a chick and not get wood? Think about...
we brought that up to a fighter that was on the show. We actually brought it up to a couple of the female fighters.
They think about their grandmas.
I would probably pop a boner. I probably would. That's why I don't train with any woman. I just...
Would you really?
I just roll with you. Of course not, Jesse. I would never
He doesn't pop a boner with me.
I don't. I have to take these pills.
Oh, super
chat. Shan Wood.
Just because you guys are awesome.
Damn,
You know what, Shanwood? You're awesome.
You are.
We should dance for Shanwood.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Shanwood, because you just donated that, Jessie's going to dance for you.
I'm trying to keep a straight face.
Thank you, Shanwood. Oh, my God. Actually, we haven't played that Zane Simon song in a minute. What else do we have in the news? Because we got to open up them phone lines.
Yo saw.
The news.
Canelo Alvarez signs a record-breaking $365 million deal with DAZN. Canelo Alvarez has signed a $365 million deal with the streaming service DAZN per the LA Times.
DAZN.
DAZN, sorry.
My son. That's my son over there, Jessie. Look at him.
Yeah. This mammoth deal, which will span 5 years and 10 fights, is being called the highest paid guaranteed contract in sports history by Canelo's promoter, Golden Boy Promotions. Canelo's first fight on DAZN will occur on December 15th when he battles Rocky Fielding inside Madison Square Garden in New York City. There was a quote from Canelo saying, "This is only from my hard work. The most important thing to me was being able to give the fans the opportunity to see me fight without having to pay the $70 or $80 for my fights on pay-per-view. That was the most important thing, more important than what I am making."
Jessie, what do you think? Hold on. What do you think, Jessie? Hold on, let's try it again.
Wow, it's like a spitting image.
Yeah, that's my son over there. Yeah, good for Canelo. We got a big payday from DAZN. Where the fuck is this streaming service getting all this money? Like, they got the Bellator, now they got this big boxing deal over here. They're becoming a player, huh?
Maybe.
I mean, think about it.
HBO. Here's the thing with streaming, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You did it again, Jess.
Okay, go ahead.
Super chat. Kevin Costa says, "Fuck."
Chris, trust me, brother. Bet the house on Khabib versus Ferguson.
Whoa. How about that? Now, listen, it's easy to say, and thank you, Kevin Costa. Appreciate it. Very generous with the donations. It's easy to say Khabib in the fight because the guy's never lost, right? And he's vicious. He's like a bear. God damn, Tony, man. Tony's so slick. Tony is the most well-rounded 155er I could think of. There's no one. The only thing you can say is his age and the amount of damage that Tony's taken.
Yeah.
Those are two things that if you're going to say Khabib in the fight, you know, you got us there, right? And Khabib being undefeated. Can't get too far into it because I don't think we're ever going to see the fight. I mean, they've tried so many times to make it happen. I hope, MMA gods, I hope they make this fight happen. But I don't know if they're going to do it. I really don't see it happening here. What do you think? Kevin is very hard on the Khabib train when it comes to Tony Ferguson. What do you think, Jess?
Oh, 100% I would put Khabib.
Really?
Easily.
And you picked Tony before, I think.
I
right?
have picked Tony before.
So, no, I'm saying against Khabib when we were making our million picks.
I don't think I've ever
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever picked Tony with Khabib. But I have picked Tony before in fights. So it's not a biased opinion that I'm making. It's just, if I were to look at them as, strategically on both fighters, I would put my money on Khabib. Tony's a great fighter. He's great.
He's the best at 155.
I've picked him before, He's phenomenal. But I do feel that in some way Khabib would find the upper hand in that fight. It's kind of the same thing as, I know people are always like, oh, if Khabib could get him to the ground, then he'll win the fight. And it is
that's
kind
not
of
the case in this one.
But like,
that's not the case in Tony fight. It's not, because we've seen Tony carve people up from his back.
And and that's why I say he's a great fighter. I just feel in some way Khabib might take the upper hand in that fight.
All right. Let's see in the chat. We say, and Abdel, Jesus Christ. I know Abdel is probably a reincarnation of someone else in there. But, I mean, if you actually watched the show before, I said multiple times that Tony Ferguson is probably the best 155er. Mm-hmm. We've said this a while ago, and I'm a Conor guy, but I'm realistic. I know how Tony Ferguson is. Conor gets shut down. He gets put down like a dog, right? In the Khabib fight. Right. He gets put to sleep over there. He doesn't get put to sleep, but he gets euthanized by Khabib. And he does a fantastic job. Khabib proves that he is the king right now of 155. But there is an El Kakui lurking in the shadows that can take that throne away from Khabib. The only reason why it's not going to happen is because the fight's never going to happen. It's the only reason. I can't make a mystical prediction on this one. I can't say that the fight will or won't happen. This might be the first time that Mystic Moss can say, well, the fight's going to happen or it's not going to happen. I don't fucking know. I want the fight to happen.
I think the fight's cursed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think correctly because it is cursed. It's been cursed 5 times. It's going to be cursed probably 6 times.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see, does Dana White try to pull the trigger for the sixth time? Does he try to do it, Jessie?
Well, it would certainly bring a lot of attention, would it not?
It would, but
Attention
does Dana
means-
White pull the trigger? Does he say, fuck it, let's go one more time?
Attention means a moolah, which means yes. I believe
So you
Dana
think he
White-
will pull the trigger?
Oh, yeah.
Let us know in the chat what you think over there. A couple more stories over here. Jessie, what else we got in the news?
What's in the news? Chael Sonnen admits heartbreak over his latest loss to Fedor, according to MMA Mania.
Yes.
Yes. Chael Sonnen has lost many times inside the octagon. On the MMA Hour via MMA Fighting, he explained that the pain doesn't go away, but at least his teeth are still intact. He said, quote, physically everything hurts. Emelianenko hit me with a missile about 5 seconds in. That one still hurts a little bit, but other than that, I am doing well. My teeth are okay. If I had one wish going into the fight, aside from serious injury, it's that I won't lose a tooth. I had the same wish since I started this when I was 19 years old, but yes, they are all intact. Emotionally, I get heartbroken about these things. From a competitive standpoint, I have dedicated my whole life to this since I was 9 years old, and I would have started earlier if my dad would have let me. He wouldn't let me start until I was 9. It hurts. It hurts really bad that you don't get those moments back.
Do you think he really cares, Jess?
No. I
don't think so either.
Here's the thing. I think as a fighter, because he is very passionate about what he does, which is great, and I'm sure there's a part of him that is a little bit defeated that he lost. You know, maybe there was a part of him that thought, I got this. But I think as far as occupation goes, I think he's good. I don't think he has anything that he's worried about. He's got like 2-3 fucking shows now. Like, he's not worried.
No fucks given.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he just goes in there, collects a check from the cage, collects a check from the booth or behind the microphone. He's fine.
Yeah.
He's just like, all right, fuck it. We're just gonna. And NH says, Chael, don't care.
Shout out to my mama.
What up, mom? Mom in the chat. What up, mother? All right, what else we have in the news? Because we got to take some phone calls. If you have any thoughts or any questions, we'll let you guys or gals call in. Your mom should call in, Jessie, for God's sake.
Yeah, Mom. Call in.
All right, here we go. What else we
All
got?
right. Dana White says on the UFC reportedly offering Khabib $15 million for the McGregor rematch that it is, quote, number one bullshit.
Number one bullshit.
Yes. According to Khabib's uncle, Alex Nurmagomedov, who claims that the Eagle wants to defend his lightweight title against Tony Ferguson and then retire for good. From the start, they offered him $15 million if he agrees. This is from Alex. But Khabib said no. Let Conor stand in line. Let him fight with the others. Khabib wants to fight with Ferguson and then finish his career. Shortly after the report was published, UFC President Dana White blasted the story as number one bullshit on his Instagram. He posted a picture of Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov with Conor McGregor smack in the middle and quoted it, Khabib Nurmagomedov offered $15 million for a rematch with Conor McGregor. Turns it down. Will fight Ferguson and retire. This was the article that he posted, and he put just in the captions, this story is number one bullshit.
Yeah. Dana White, actually, what was the Instagram post? Is it on here? Hold on.
What, from
here
Dana
we go.
White?
Yeah, this is the Instagram post over here. You know what? Say what you will about Dana White. I thought this was like a G move by him as well. A lot of G moves tonight on the MMA-Holes. Khabib Nurmagomedov offered $15 million for rematch with Conor McGregor, turns it down, will fight Ferguson and retire. And it has a picture of El Kakui with a bloodied up face. Conor McGregor in the middle looking like a Calvin Klein model. And then, like, where do they get these pictures? Like, the beasts are looking like they're homeless, and then Conor McGregor looks all stoic in the middle. All right. And then he goes, this story is number one bullshit over there. Good for Dana. Good for him. Listen, first of all, Dope Sick Jones coming in.
Kebab will carve GSP up like Gyro meat Odin Dango burrito. Lol.
What?
I like the emojis over there. Thank you, Dope Sick.
Dope Sick. I agree. 100%.
I tell you what, that's the fight I want. I want Tony versus listen, either fight works. Tony versus Khabib, GSP versus Khabib. I'm down for both fights. Both fights I'm good because the banter back and forth why each one would win is just, I'm in. My mouth is salivating thinking about those two fights. I'm in. I'm totally in. Which would you rather see, Jess?
You know what? Tony versus Khabib, just because it's so cursed. Like, if they ever pulled that off, I'd want to see it. 100%. I want to see it.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully that does happen. And yeah, the interesting part about this is Conor tries to go for the rematch over there, and he gets shut down. Like, this is the first time the UFC's like, yeah, Conor, stay in your lane. It's the first time we got to really see that, where the UFC's like, nope, you better sit down, kid. You know, go pedal your whiskey.
Back of the line.
And, you know, it's kind of refreshing to see the UFC do that.
Yeah.
You know, as much as people say I'm a Conor dick rider or whatever the fuck you want to say, I do appreciate the fact that some people get knocked down a pedestal, and Conor getting knocked down, I think, is actually good for the sport because he will be back no matter what. He's going to be running his mouth. It's interesting to see how he goes about it now. He's got to reinvent himself a little bit here. So it's going to be interesting to see what Conor does to come back into the game. And now we have a new king. I mean, Khabib's the king. He's not the trash-talking king, but he is the king right now of the 155-pound weight class, and there's some booming, banging fights around the corner. Jess, what else we have in the news?
Adios, Sean Hart. Have a lovely, lovely night. Michael Chiesa says that his family has received nasty messages as backlash from Conor McGregor lawsuit. Dealing with Conor McGregor is one thing. Michael Chiesa is learning what it's like.
You're gonna wrap one on one shoulder.
You're gonna wrap the other shoulder.
And you're gonna need a fucking army
to go take that belt off me.
All right.
Pretty smart of Khabib to want to fight Tony then retire. Get out undefeated with no brain damage. Don't want to end up catching CTE like GSP and start believing aliens are probing your anus at night. Tony beats Khabib via weaponized autism.
There you go.
Tony beats Khabib?
Vlad's a smart man. You got to believe what he says there. What? You know, Vlad, we've said this before too. Like, I believe that Khabib has a limited, his window is closing, right? He's going to get in there, maybe 1-2 fights, and then just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah. Leave
undefeated. He cares about money right now, but he's a couple of big paychecks from being set. Khabib going back home, living in a mountain somewhere, you know, fucking a goat and wrestling a bear. I don't know what he's going to do over there, but I don't see him staying much longer. I really don't see him staying much longer either. I think Khabib's going to do a couple of fights and then just ride off into the sunset. What do you think, Jess?
I think Khabib's going to win the fight if that fight ever occurred. I think Khabib would win the fight, and I think that beginning part of the donation was right. I think he would just sort of retire, and that's it.
That's it. All right, what do you think in the chat? Michael Chiesa, the let's see what's going on with this guy. I'm so done with him. He won the Ultimate Fighter, right? Let's just do a quick recap, right? Michael Chiesa wins the Ultimate Fighter. He's a good story. His father passes, and you know, you're like, oh, it sucks, man. This poor guy. Good for him, right? He wins in dramatic fashion. Yeah. A lot of people like this guy's ground game is pretty slick. Maybe he'll be something in the UFC. Never really panned out. His striking got a little bit better. You know, had some wins, some losses, and then the last one against Anthony Pettis, he just looked like a fool. He misses weight. He's complaining and crying the whole way. His Kevin Lee whole situation, where my mom, don't talk about my mom. And now you're like, all right, Michael Chiesa, we're done with you. Now he's suing Conor McGregor, rightfully so, right? I mean, I think anyone in their right mind would sue Conor McGregor in this situation. Why wouldn't you do it? So I can't kill him for that. It's just how he goes about everything. Oh, all right. Let's talk about this backlash now.
Okay. In a clip that has been replayed, McGregor hurled a dolly that shattered the window of a bus that was transporting Nurmagomedov and several other fighters. Chiesa was one of them. He suffered a cut on his head that resulted in medics ruling him ineligible. We all know what happened there. He filed a lawsuit against McGregor Sports and Entertainment, Barclays Center, and McGregor's associates for negligence, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and assault and battery. The lawsuit is ongoing. In the meantime, Chiesa has had to deal with fans who aren't exactly understanding of his situation. Thick as his skin is, it's the collateral damage to friends and family that upsets him. He said, quote, "I'm going to tread lightly with this. Obviously, I can't say a whole lot, but it just has not been good. Even my girlfriend and my mom get messages and comments. They're not part of this, and it's kind of a shame when my mom's a sensitive lady, and I do my best to protect her and stuff. And when she tells me about some of the mean things that are getting sent her way, it's a shame. Anybody can say whatever they want to me. This is about me. This isn't about my family. And you know, today hasn't been great." Chiesa's beef with McGregor extends beyond their close encounter and into the realm of the brash Irishman's persona in general. It's no secret that McGregor's gift of gab has been a major part of his success in addition to his sterling victories inside the octagon, but Chiesa thinks that kind of behavior has a negative effect on the product and the fan base in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Man, you know, fans are going to troll no matter what. So backlash, if you're playing in the public eye, you're going to get backlash for wiping the wrong way. Like, no matter what you do, you can sneeze in front of a camera and a little snot rocket will come out, and then everyone will just be bashing you for the snot rocket going out in the wrong direction. He's going to get it no matter what. So he's prepared for this, right?
Yeah, he's...
I mean...
he doesn't have the thickest skin in the world, but it is thicker. I don't know. Here's the thing. I think that he is a sensitive guy, but I think... is it really right for the fans to go after his family? You know, like...
Who cares? Listen,
well, I get
we've
it.
had fans come go after our family, and I say fans. That's right. The people that go after families are the biggest fans, right?
Right, but what I'm saying, regardless, like all of that aside, I'm saying whether it's done or not, what do they get out of it, right? Like what happens when they go after Chiesa's family? Is it to attack Chiesa? Does it give him more of a personal attack by going after his family? Like, what is that? What I don't understand.
Doing this for a year now. Well, you've been doing it for 2 years because you had your channel.
Listen,
as well,
but me, I've had that happen to me. Like,
yeah.
I get it.
So you have a soft spot for Chiesa?
No. Please don't mistake me. Like, I think Chiesa needs to have thicker skin for sure. He asked for this type of treatment when he conducted a lawsuit against someone who has like the biggest fan army out there, you know? So in some way I don't feel sensitive for him at all because he asked for this. He knew what he was getting himself into. He knew.
What's the point?
But I'm asking as a, what do you call it? Devil's advocate. Just in a devil's advocate standpoint, what do the fans get out of going after his family? It's
simple. I'm not saying it's right. It's not right when people attack people's family. It's not right. But who gives a fuck? You know, like that's what I think. Like, there are a lot of people that are in the public eye and they get it. You know, it's part of playing the game. You know, we see people in MMA media that they don't read the live chat because they're afraid of what's going to be said, or they just don't want to deal with it because it's toxic. Right. And yes, there are a lot of mongoloids in this fucking room. But if the mongoloids weren't here, we wouldn't be here. Right. You know? So that's why we fuck around, we dance with it. The family attacks are wrong. They're completely wrong, but it's part of the game. You know, it's part of playing the game. And I feel if you're going to play the game, you got to play it right. And Chiesa comes across as a crybaby. He does. He comes across, he's going to be getting paid a lot from this lawsuit. He's going to make some bank over here. Mm-hmm. So stop crying, take your money, and fight at 170 and lose over there too. What do you think him versus Carlos Condit? It's a good fight. I like that fight because Carlos Condit's on the downcline. Michael Chiesa, we don't even know what the fuck he is really right now. And how is he going to fight at 170 is to be determined. I want to see Carlos Condit smoke him, you know. But it's an interesting one because I don't know if Carlos is anywhere near what he used to be, you know. Yeah. So it's an interesting fight over there. Who would you pick if you had a gun back to your head? All right, Jessie's going to think. Hold on. Here we go. Jessie's looking into your eyes right now. She's trying to pick Michael Chiesa or Carlos Condit. Jessie's thinking right now. She doesn't know who to pick. Someone help him out in the chat. Now, my singing is beautiful. Condit. What? Hold on.
Condit.
Carlos, the natural born killer. Condit. What do you say in the chat? Check this out. This is Jackson Wink showing the killers. Look at our boy, Devin Clark, smack in the middle next to Mike Perry. And there's Carlos Condit. I tell you what, Carlos Condit's in some good shape. We got Johnny Bones Jones over there. A bunch of killers. Jackson Wink. Still got some peeps over there. And let's see. The natural born killer, Carlos Condit versus Michael Chiesa. Interesting fight. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go with Condit because I want to see him beat the fuck out of Chiesa. But I don't know. I'm just going to go with Carlos. Chat, what do you say?
Drunk Savage says Stalio 2. I keep asking them too. NASA CGI Snake says, agreed. Stalio 2 says, I'm stuck on stupid. J Smooth says, can't. Roberto Hernandez says, Cowboy happy. Duchronic says, John Jones belt or Holly. CC Ryder says, yo guys. Alma Bro 74 says, pick the box. Abdel says, I see a lot of steroids in this picture. Austin Cook says, Kat Zingano versus Megan Anderson at 145. Roberto Hernandez says Condit might knock Chiesa's mullet off. Kevin from Chicago says, Food.
All right, how many more stories do we have here on the MMAHoles.com? And remember, check out the MMAHoles.com. We said in the beginning of the show, a woman from Twitch reached out to us because she was trying to pull us over to the Twitch side of things. God forbid something happened to YouTube. If you're like, holy shit, where are my MMA holes? They're not on YouTube. If you're on the MMAHoles.com, you can watch us live there and interact with us over there, and we'll let you know what's going on with this channel. So check out the MMAHoles.com. There's the message board, and that's where we're pulling our news from all over the interwebs. What else we got?
Ali Abdelaziz shoots down talks of Khabib Nurmagomedov rematching prostitute Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor wants his rematch against UFC lightweight champ Khabib Nurmagomedov, but according to Nurmagomedov's manager Ali Abdelaziz, the Irishman may be barking up the wrong tree. He said, quote, he's talking about a rematch and stuff like that. He quit. How are you going to give this guy a rematch? He's a bitch. Khabib's victory not only kept his perfect record intact, but also marked his 17th career stoppage win in what is undoubtedly the biggest fight of his career, as early reports estimated a record of 2.4 million people purchased UFC 229. However, the entire event was marred by the melee that came after the fight, which we all are aware of. For Abdelaziz, one of the main targets during McGregor's verbal assault leading up to the fight, this revelation was more upsetting than the actual brawl. He said, quote, you know what makes me mad more than anything? Not that he talked about me or talked about Khabib. Stuff like that, I brush it off. But you talk all this stuff and the third round comes and you come to me and tell me, quote, it's business. That's a hoe. Right. Like I said before, he's a prostitute and he's still a prostitute. I definitely haven't changed my mind.
If I was Ali Abdelaziz, you know what I would do? I would just smirk. Like anytime someone brings up Conor McGregor, I would just smirk and be like, we saw how that worked out for him. You know, and shut the fuck up. Yeah. But he keeps going with this thing, and he's just using Conor's name to just kind of, you know, keep himself relevant. Listen, the guy, he's the agent for a majority of the UFC. The guy does a good job when it comes to promoting his fighters and doing the right thing for his people, right? Do your job and shut the fuck up. We don't care what you think about Conor anymore. Okay, you guys won. You won. All right? Enough's enough. Be a class act and pay for your fucking son's child support. Poor Noah is sitting there in a puddle, shivering. And there's Noah. And Noah?
I miss my dad.
There it is. See, look, Noah jumps in.
Wonderful.
That's why you love this community. Like clockwork over there. Shout out to the Discord. Shout out to the patrons over there. Thank you very much for the donation. There you go, Jesse. Look, Noah coming in. He misses his dad.
Such a shame.
It's sad. All right, what else do we have in the news so we can take a couple of phone calls?
Dana White says Khabib Nurmagomedov will not be leaving the UFC. It's about the same type of article that we had the last time.
Yeah, we saw this already, though, no? Yeah, you read this one.
Okay.
Yeah. What else we got?
I'm missing articles now.
All right, so is that it?
That's it.
Okay, let's go. MMA holes we spoke about a lot. We have a Gollum version of Cowboy Cerrone. Jackson Wink wants him back. Floyd Mayweather versus Khabib. We have PFL, Professional Fighters League, the last fight before the final, right?
Yes.
The New Year's Eve final. We'll do a live fight reaction for that. That's this weekend, so you can talk about that. We can talk about Bellator that just happened. What else we have? If you want to talk about 229, I want to hear calls about Khabib versus Ferguson. Khabib versus GSP. That's what I want to hear. We have UFC 230. It's around the corner. A beautiful poster that we showed on the MMAHoles.com. But let me know your thoughts right now. Jesse would love to hear what you have to say.
516-522-0267.
Call us. Call us now. What's up in the chat?
Super chat.
Stop the line. Super chat.
My BFF Jessie is the best at reading MMA news. Heart.
That's right, Kevin Coaster. That's why she has her own
My
goddamn
BFF
song.
Kevin Costa.
Wonderful.
Beautiful,
Thank you, Kevin Costa.
That was very nice of you. And that money will go to JBH's wonderful, wonderful tattoo. Or my wonderful, wonderful tattoo. And JBH's The MMA Holes tattoo. What do we got?
Jay Smooth is salty in the chat. Internal says yes. Duke Chronic says she can read fast. Drunk Savage says meh. Let's talk about our last BMs. Vlad says LOL. Stalio2 says I only want smart people calling in. His CZ Ryder says, hi, Staley, Knitter, J Smooth, and all you OGs, you OGs. Duke Chronic says she should do audiobooks or radio ads.
She does have a good voice. I got to say this. I said this in the beginning when I was like, you know what? You got a voice that's soothing. You know, even if you don't want to hear the story, it's nice to listen to. Right, Jessie?
Why, thank you.
Like, maybe if you could say, like, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Let's hear a little lullaby from Jessie over here.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder.
All right, shut up.
Wonderful.
What else do we have in the chat? Ah, shit. Listen, if you donate, well, you interrupt the show with the MMA horror. Call back because we have a donation coming in from the
what
wonderful...
What if that was my mom?
It could be your mom. Was it her number?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see it.
Well, maybe you should look. All right, here we go. Hey, this is how this works. Super chats rule the world.
I am trying to get a woman to be with me. We have known each other for a minute. Any advice?
Okay, let's help Hashem out.
Be funny and don't come across too like simpy. Don't come across like too complimentary or anything.
You're saying you have a community of people that are quote unquote simps, right? And now you're saying
no. I'm not saying like that. Okay, let me rephrase it. Not simpy, because simp is okay.
Yeah.
But like don't go up to her and like be like grossly throwing yourself at her. Like what this guy did, he insulted me to start, and for some reason, I thought it was hot.
It's pickup 101, right? You don't want to completely trash, and look at the community. I mean, they're very good at insulting people. No, it's not like, hey, you ugly skank. It's not like that. It's basically what you do is you like, especially if it's an attractive woman, right? And what you do is you basically, a girl that gets compliments all the time, sometimes you take it back. You're like, you're about a 3, you know?
Yeah, that's what he did. But here's the difference, and a lot of men get this mistaken. They will say, they'll give you like that little insult joke, but then they'll keep insult joking you, and it's kind of like, what the fuck, man? And then the woman won't be attracted to you at all because you just keep insulting her. Do it once, make a joke, and then when you get her, when you lure her in a little with it, then be nice. Be a fucking gentleman, and you'll get her.
Be
guaranteed.
A fucking gentleman, according to JBH. There you go. All right, here we go. The phone lines are back open, 516-522-0267. Make your points quick so we can get a couple of calls in over here on the MMA Holes. Apologizing for the hang up. You're live with the MMA Holes. What's your name? What is on your mind?
Hey, my name is Sad.
Shaq?
And, Sad.
Oh, Sad. What's up, Sad?
Yeah. Sorry, first, English is like my third language, so this is not easy, but I'll try my best.
Shoot. What's on your mind?
I want to talk about the Khabib and Floyd fight.
Okay.
It's like the media is making a huge deal about it, of course, but I think it's just Khabib was just joking, and he met with the promoter of Floyd that was trying to ride the wave of the Khabib and Conor thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's all that happened.
So you're saying you think that they're just hyping this up?
Yeah, because they want to ride on the wave, because what happened in UFC 229 was like a huge thing. So Floyd hasn't been relevant lately. So they want to like make a big deal out of it.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. There you go. Hey, listen. Look at that, Jessie. You know what? As much as I thought it was a prank in the beginning, but he actually had a decent call over there.
Yeah, props to say. Well, because in the chat, I mean, there have been moments where
we're like, all right, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
All right,
but
so
props
Syed.
to him.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for the call over there. What do you think about this? Do you think it's like a hype train? Do you think it's going to happen, Jessie?
There's part of me that wants to see it happen, but no, I don't think it's going to happen.
All right, 516-522-0267. Call in. We're going to take a couple of calls and wind this shit down. Kevin from Chicago. Who else? I don't know. Anyone else that wants to call. Knock yourself out. And let me know your thoughts on this. I'm pretty sure that people want to talk about the Mayweather-Khabib thing. Who would win? The whole Ferguson situation. You are live with the MMA Holes. What's your name and what is on your minds?
You don't ever piss off. No, when I talk about Floyd Mayweather, he wants to fight everybody except a boxer. Except somebody who can challenge him. He wants to fight a bunch of scrubs. What's up with that, man? Why does he want to fight these MMA fighters. Easy money or what?
Yeah, it's got to be the easy cash, man. Wouldn't you do it though? Like if you're 40-something years old, you've done it all in boxing, right? Wouldn't you just take the quick cash grabs and just make fun of these people?
Yeah, I would, but the commission shouldn't even be sanctioning the fights.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't even be allowed to be fight. I mean, Conor McGregor didn't even have a professional fight. That shouldn't have been sanctioned.
That's a good point.
It's only because it was for money. That's why it was sanctioned. And this Khabib fight shouldn't be sanctioned either. So what the fuck is going on?
All right, so there you go. And that is a good point.
Wait.
Go ahead.
You don't even cover the PFL? You haven't been talking about the PFL playoffs? They've been had some really good fights going on.
Yeah,
we covered it last time, man.
We covered it last time, and we said that we're going to be doing a reaction this Saturday, so we will be reacting to the final PFL.
Well, listen to this. Me, Jay Smooth, and Dan from Oregon will be doing a reaction video.
Whoops.
All right, guys. I got the self-promoting thing. It's cool. We made it. Mama, we made it. But shut the fuck up.
All right, here's the thing. Listen, everyone wants to be a goddamn celebrity. So if you're going to run your show, knock yourself out. It's cool. Listen, we can't be the only fish in the sea.
Yeah.
So knock yourself out. But listen, if you want to hang out with 10 people, you can do that. It's cool. Kevin's a good guy.
They're
Dan's
all
a good guy.
guys.
Jay's a good. Everyone's a good guy. Listen, we're all fucking MMA holes.
Yeah.
Everyone's just trying to have a little bit of fun. So if you want to go over there and hang out with there, that's cool too. I don't care. Listen, it is what it is. But
the self-promotions, come on, it's so annoying.
It's not even self-promote. It's not even a show. He's not even like he. Wait.
It's like it's almost retarded.
516-522-0267. I like Kevin though. He's all right though.
They're all great. I love them, but sometimes I want to smack all their heads together.
He's like, you're not covering it. Like 5 minutes before he called, we were like,
he's like, are you going to cover it? Because we are.
We'll be live for PFL on Saturday. Hey, how come you guys don't talk about the PFL? What the fuck? What are you, deaf? Oh, God, I can't. My head's going to explode. I can't take it. All right, let's take this call.
Watch that be him. What'd you hang up on me, bro?
All right, you're live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name?
Hey,
what's on your mind?
Guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much, man. You talk about some fucking premeditated shit that was, man.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. Going back to what you guys were saying, by the way, you guys are wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Anyway, about what you were saying about GSP and fucking Khabib, man, I think GSP fucking mopped that mother. I think he fucking mopped the floor with him, man. GSP's fucking, stand-up attack. I mean, he wasn't. Conor he kicks a lot, but he doesn't kick like GSP.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, you guys probably know this, fucking Rogan basically fucking taught GSP how to kick hard.
Super
I did see that. Hold on a second. We got a super chat coming in.
I forgot. You guys go for 2 hours on Wednesday. Had to leave to do my own show. Switching to different day next week. Anyway, December 14th, Kansas City. Invicta FC. Me and you guys, let's invade and run stuff.
There you go. All right, WMMA scene, thank you.
Jumping on the bandwagon.
All right, let's. What do you got to say over here? So you're talking about GSP. I appreciate the donations. Thank you very much. GSP, you're saying him over Khabib. And what you said about the leg kicks, yeah, I've seen those videos. Joe Rogan showing him how to do a proper, what was it, a spin kick? Hold on, what the fuck was it?
Yeah, like a from the hip. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like a spinning, yeah.
Yeah, that was vicious, by the way. I've watched that video multiple times, and GSP is sitting there with a pen and paper, just watching Joe Rogan just kick through.
Yeah, Rogan is a beast, man.
Absolutely.
That is fucking that. Yeah, he's a beast. But anyway, I mean, so he's learned from that. I mean, you could tell against the Big Sping fight. I rewatched that fight about a week ago, and he was kicking the shit out of Big Sping with that, but like I said, man, I think that would be the difference. Is they both can grapple, they both got great ground game, but I think that when it comes to standing up, that time in between, that Conor, was labored and everything. I'm sure GSP would be, because he needs to up his cardio. But I just think that would be the thing that gave GSP the win.
All right, thanks for the call, man. There you go, GSP over Khabib. Man, I tell you what, I kind of wish we opened the phone lines a little bit earlier, because I do want to take more calls on this. We're going to be live on Friday as well, and for the PFL on Saturday. Shout out to the MMA Holes for the PFL. You know what's funny? We started this. Like, we started this whole community over here, and then it's awesome. It's a super cool thing to see the community branch out and do their own thing.
compliment.
It's an extreme compliment. It really is. The fact that we see the community in other places hanging out, so we support that. We completely support that. And it's just a matter of time. You know, this channel is going to grow big enough where you're going to need side communities. You're going to need things to happen. So it's good for the sport to have options, point of views. So I'm all for that. But if you let me just give you a little piece of advice. When we started the channel, we did it all on our own. We jumped into when we jumped into fucking channels, we jumped at Luke Thomas, ARIEL, HELWANI. We were going into those chats, and then they shut them things down because we were just toxic going in there and attacking.
Yeah.
We have 15,000 subscribers. You should be worrying about people that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers if you're going to go and attack.
Yeah, don't
and
come across as desperate.
Here's a piece of advice. And trust me, I'm very good at giving advice because I'm the best. If you're going to do it, do it your way and do it the right way.
Yeah.
Create something different. Go out there and grind. Put everything aside. Chase your passions. Chase your dreams, because if you want it to happen, it will happen. By going into other places and begging for people to come over to your channel.
Well, not only that.
It's just.
But it's not only that.
It's pathetic.
It's when you're utilizing content that you clearly got from another show and then using that show for their audience. Like, come on. Like, that's...
You got to be a badass. This is what you got to do. You got to create your own content and be a badass. Like, Dan from Oregon, he's a very knowledgeable guy. I like what he's doing outside of the UFC. He's hitting everything. And it's brilliant because there's no other people watching Risen and doing reactions. There are people doing it, but they're not doing it on a consistent basis. The fact that he's doing that is great. The streaming for Conor and Khabib, you'd be crazy not to stream for that, to purge subscribers and get subscribers. You'd be crazy for not doing it. So I have total respect for people for doing their own thing. Make sure you carve a niche, you become a badass, and you take the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
But carve your own niche. That's the biggest thing.
It's tough to do. It's tough because
niche.
The thing is, you see perfection, and you just want to duplicate it.
Right.
You know?
No, that's exactly what it is. They just duplicate it.
If you can't beat them, join them. Right.
But duplicate it in their own way and be like, oh, it was my idea. I totally had this.
Kevin goes, Dan is taking over the business. Listen, you know what I like about Dan too is he's very political, right? He's like a salty politician. Like he's like everyone's biased, right? He goes, everyone's biased, and then he becomes super biased in the other direction. So it doesn't. Here's another piece of advice. If you're gonna call someone biased, don't fucking go heavy on the other side. Stay neutral. If you stay neutral, then you're not biased.
Right.
But by going on the other side, you start dick riding the other side, and then I watch some of these things and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you got to play both sides of the game. You can't just be like, this person's biased. They're not talking about that and this and that. And then poor Dan, I heard MMA Junkie fucking lit him on fire.
Well, we won't get into that. That was a whole other thing.
The poor guy. I was like, what the fuck? We get a message. Check out MMA Junkie, right? We get a timestamp. We look over there, and then we see him get shot down by MMA Junkie over there. I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? Listen, there's a way to attack this game. If you need advice, listen, you can reach out. I'll give you advice. I'll help you out. But come on, man. Stop the cringe. Stop the fucking cringe. It's ridiculous. All right. And good luck to everyone doing their own thing. Be wonderful, wonderful. Jesse, we'll be live Friday for Fook Off Friday. We live Saturday for the PFL. We'll see you those nights. Jesse, last words. Look into their eyes. Check us out on Podbean and iTunes so you can hear the audio version of that as well. Shout out to Felony Charles Bennett. Shout out to our sponsors, TygerLyfe Energy and Duplex Entertainment. Links in the description. Jesse, what do you got to say?
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.